Welcome to the new eSport future. Choose match. Choose winner. Sign up on OMG.bet.
Group stage play day number 3 here. Off to a bit of a later start today due to the forfeit earlier from the Askamani versus the Namiga match. So that's why we're starting today here at 1500. So welcome. And sorry we missed you for that first game if you were hoping to tune in. But now we've got J178 here up against Team Unique. Should be a pretty fun matchup here between the two. Let me go ahead and pull up the bracket here. Yep, so far, this is going to be J178's last game here in the group stage. This is going to be their third and final. So far, they've yet to drop a single game throughout 2. They've 2-0'd the Cyberdogs, and they've also 2-0'd, should be Viking GG. Yep, they did that yesterday. So a 2-0 or at least a 2-1 here would pretty much comfortably seat them here at the top of their group and guarantee themselves going through to the playoffs here. Team Unique, though, also looking for a 2-0, which would then make the next game to follow here the decider. Potentially, we might have some very unique and fun tiebreakers, too, between, well, Team Unique and Viking GG. So that's going to be up next after this series. So we'll see how Unique are able to fare after this game. And, well, we'll go from there, to be quite honest. But already in the draft here, as we can see, Potom Rubik going to be the opening support duo from J178, while Team Unique will opt for the Void here in the first phase of picks, as well as the Coddle. So that Disco Ball, in addition to the Void Chrono, can be quite nice. Not a whole, well, Illuminate actually is pretty good damage into Chrono, to be quite honest. That's always the main concern earlier on versus a Faceless Void. At least that's going to be my main concern. He doesn't do a whole lot of damage early, as you generally are going to need to rely on someone else to help you out, or at least provide a nice little secondary stun or a bit of lockdown for you to secure further kills. They banned the Beastmaster, interestingly enough. It's a strong 3, especially against a Void. Can go ahead and roar him out. Well, I mean, potentially you could roar him out of the Chrono, as it will affect your movements. But, yeah, lots of offlaners banned, actually. There's going to be the Axe, though. Axe has made a bit of a comeback. We've seen him a lot yesterday. I think in like 3 or 4 of the games out of the 6 we had. So, definitely no stranger here to the OMG Cup. Let me just turn this on very quickly here to get the air circulating. There we go. Sorry about that. I'd like the Axe. It's a strong lane here. He can more or less, especially against a Void who doesn't do too good against him, he can more or less solo lane here after getting a few levels in the counter helix.
Skywrath Mage.
Interesting here. You kind of do invite the Pugna pick. Like, I don't know actually about 4 Skywrath Mage. Let me tell you, I played one of the worst Dota games of my entire life yesterday as a 5 Lion with a quote-unquote 4 Skywrath Mage. Worst game of my life. Anyway, 4 Skywrath Mage can be quite good, though, despite that guy not playing it too nicely. They're going to go with the Lycan, though, so a very early activation lineup here between the Lycan and the Axe. Good push. You do have really strong D-push here on the Coddle, so I don't know if the Aghanim Scepter on Lycan is going to potentially be worth it. Because the Wolves, I think, have 350 HP. I don't quite remember off the top of my head, but they're not super strong, or they're not super tanky, especially because, you know, Wolves have no armor. Or Wolves need no armor, therefore they have no armor. The Tidehunter will be picked up here, so I think it's going to end up being a mid Skywrath Mage. I think we're going to end up seeing the ban of the Pugna. Yeah, you need a mid laner here for J178. So it could be a Pugna. It's probably going to be a Pugna ban. Team Unique going to have the picks and bans right out of the gate. There's no really big times here to pick a Nyx Assassin either, which would also just about delete Skywrath Mage off of the face of the Dota 2 map. We'll ban the Ember Spirit here last. So they think it's actually a 4 Skywrath Mage. Interesting. I think the Silence can be quite good against the Lycan and the Potom, even on a support, but on a core, that additional magic there with the Ancient Seal combos pretty nicely with the Keeper of the Light. A good and very annoying slow as well with the Bolt. Little light on stuns in this Team Unique lineup though, so ideally you want a mid laner that does bring some of those to the table. Ember, of course, might have been, pardon me, the ideal pick. It provides a little bit of everything in addition to damage into the Chrono. I think maybe you want to go for... Well, buying the OD, I think Alina mid here might not be terrible. I mean, Skywrath mid is also, I think, still potentially good. I think if you pick the Lina, it gives you a nice pick of a nice little bit of flexibility, because both of these heroes, even with 4, I mean, obviously someone's going to take mid lane, right? But even as with 4 position farm, they still do quite nice damage in Chrono. Wow, I'm surprised Tiny was not banned whatsoever throughout the laning stage, but they'll respond immediately with the Visage. And that's a mid Visage here. I'm interested on how that hero does against Tiny, because I believe 1 Avalanche and all of the Gravekeeper's Cloak charges are pretty much deleted, because it's, I think, 40 damage to trigger 1 stack of the Gravekeeper's Cloak. So Visage might suffer a bit here in this lineup. Tiny, I feel like, would do quite well against the birds as well, as the Avalanche basically mini stuns over their duration. Makes it really annoying to try and reposition them. Skywrath Mage can even Ancient Seal them to prevent them from getting off the stun, most importantly keeping them alive a bit longer. I don't know about this Visage matchup. It's kind of scary, actually. It's going to be Palantimos Lycan safe lane. They do have a bit of early activation, so it's so bad here on the Skywrath Mage. They're not playing with Afterlights today, Team Unique are. Looks like he was just a temporary stand-in for the day. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's Pikachu Visage. So it's like normally on Visage you get the level 6, you get your two birds, your two familiars out, and then you're able to basically immediately harass the enemy mid laner out of lane. Just because the damage output you have there is pretty insane. The recent changes to Medallion, though, make this hero a little bit less strong, I think, to be quite honest. Just because Vlad's... I mean, many of the changes as of recent have been kind of, not direct nerfs to him, of course, but they've been inconsequent or indirect nerfs because he likes building the Vlads, you know, he likes building minus armor items, which are now going to be even less strong. They're still great this game, don't get me wrong, especially with your birds, but it feels like this hero has been... I mean, the recent patches definitely haven't helped him, to say the least. We'll see how he fares. It is an interesting pick here, but I do like seeing the Visage. Lots of high, just micro heroes are a ton of fun to watch here. I think I have the large mini map, so I don't want to have to fix that. Yeah, I don't know. That's really interesting because I feel like Visage is just gonna get pretty much murdered early on. I feel like this is how this is gonna go, because like I said, Gravekeeper's Cloak here. 20% at max level, but it takes 40 damage each to break through. And I feel like Tiny would do incredibly well against this. I'm not sure how many mini avalanches actually happen. Yeah, it doesn't really say. Interesting. But with the toss, though, I mean, 3 times the damage should break through the... That's... I don't know. I think... I don't know how good of a time Visage will have here. It depends on how the damage per tick of Avalanche is dealt out. I don't know how many ticks there are off the top of my head. I've never calculated that. But with the toss increasing it by 3, that should be more than enough damage to proc the Gravekeeper's Cloak. So maybe at earlier levels, Visage might be able to tank them here a little bit, but I don't think that's going to last too long, as to both heroes contesting for the top runes here. Naked Axe, Naked Petishara trying to find the rune here. He's not going to grab it, actually. It's going to instead be J4. Happy DR will get his down here as well. So I think it's 3 runes then for Team Unique early on. Indeed. Alright, let's take a look mid lane here. What do you even get? You're going to go for the Grave Chill early on as well, of course. I mean, he's got the Tree Grab anyway, so not too much damage to be blocked there by the Cloak regardless. Safe lane Palantimos here against last hero alone. The damage reduction here on the Tidebringer is going to be kind of insane for sure. So it's going to be some try-on-try action. Top lane, Diarra and Big Num. Going to be sparring off against J4 and So Bad, but Sane taking a bit of damage. Lane here, pretty calm. It'll be calm here for a little while until the nukes come online, I presume. Nice body blocks out from J4. Big Num going for the TP out all the way back home to the fountain. I think he's got an auto attack chasing him, actually. Nope, I guess not. Fade Bolt early on, of course, for the damage reduction. Going to be pretty annoying. Is it worth getting a Manta style this game here on Void? I don't really think so. Probably not going to be building a silence against you. It's not terrible late game here on Pikachu into a Bloodthorn, because you basically, with 4 or 3 familiars at least with the 25 talent, you're going to have a good amount of damage there with the constant slows. And of course, each of those guys getting their little crit damage will be insane. Here we go, Avalanche already early on. It's 1 level. I think the Cloak was leveled after. Either that or the level 1 Avalanche didn't actually proc the damage. Interesting. That's interesting. I've got to look at the math on that, because I've actually never looked at that breakdown before. That might end up being a really good counter to the tiny early on, though. Like I said, I don't know about later when he gets levels and toss and then is able to just murder you. That becomes a bit scarier for sure. 12-2 right now. Last hero leading, can pretty much CS here quite comfortably until the wolves get their maim. I think they get what level do they get that? They don't have now. I think they get it at level 3. No, level 3 is invisibility. Maybe level 4 then here as mid lane. Again, there's the toss, so Gravekeeper's Cloak completely nullified now. So that's a lot of his magic resistance gone. But will get a kill here onto So Bad as edging to Insane. Unable to get even a single right click out thanks to the Grave Chill. Oh wait, no, they've changed that. They've changed that. I'm sorry. I forgot. Ignore the point there about the magic resistance. That's no longer accurate and hasn't been for a while. Trapped here by 3 is Petashara as he was trying to snag this creep wave. Still probably going to end up getting away with it. He's spinning to win here. Going to get a few more of the CS here on the creep. Getting harassed quite a bit though. Arrow coming through will not connect onto anyone. Just splitting the gap there. Last hero again is pretty free to just last it here with the anchor smash. It does a ton of damage. Palantimos, I mean, -9 damage, I suppose, is not too consequential, but it's very annoying to try and last it against there for sure. Lane Grave Chill doing pretty good work here as there's going to be a second level in the cloak early on. Makes it very hard for the Tiny to CS. He can still toss the trees to secure them for sure, but you can only do that so often there. So there's an arrow onto J4 now. A few spins out from Petashara will secure that kill, as Happy Do You are actually getting the credit there, dispatching of the little horseman. Now Sani to die. Nicely done. This is a very strong, aggressive top lane. Normally the problem with Rubik's support is that he doesn't really do a whole lot. He's got great like damage early for a support, but not, you know, nothing really to write home about. It's good early on, but his lockdown then is trash because it's like a 0.75 stun without any levels in Arcane Supremacy early on. So DD rune here on Edge into Insane. Likely not going to be able to get to use it here as Pikachu just keeps removing that attack speed from the Tiny, who already suffers from a very low amount. J4 TPing back to the lane, going to die again. That's going to be a nice telekinesis to maybe save the life here on Happy Do You Aura. As Petashara now with the Battle Hunger onto So Bad, chasing him down. They've got a ward here and right around the 5-minute runes as well. So Bad, or Sani rather, going to try and secure this one. The body blocks, but just going to eat that arrow there at short range. 3 runes, perhaps even 4 for J178 now, because that should be a bottle refilled thanks to the Skywrath. He's accidentally taken a sip out of that though, so he did mess up the combo, unfortunately. Yep, normally you want to give a sip to your mid laner while you still have the Fountain Aura on you, because then you basically have a 4-use bottle. Accidentally messing that one up there. Palantimos going to be going for the Helm of the Dominator. It's a pretty standard first item there. That creep gets even stronger with you as with the ulti, the shapeshift. It's fantastic. 3 heroes now. I'm looking to gank mid though as... Ooh, thank God that siege creep was there. Might have resulted in a kill, but there's Pikachu. Level 6 now thanks to that arrow. And is going to have a bit more damage as the supports will be coming through as well from Team Unique. But Pikachu with the familiars running him down, not going to land there with the stun. And here's Petashara trying to draw as much aggro as he can. And is doing a good job. He's got plenty of from the supports. There's going to be the 10 wand charges he uses. A wand is very valuable this game. Arrow coming through, not going to connect on anyone. It's Big Dumb jumping forward. There's Sani though, time walking to get the kill. Won't have that for another 15 seconds, but with only the supports here, I don't think you quite have the damage. Now edging to Insane, rotating up as well. It's actually the neutral creeps getting the kill there onto Petashara, which is very unfortunate because that was an easy camp. Nice arrow there, does a bit of damage. Happy you are staying alive a bit longer, actually getting a D-ward as well out of this, so the efficiency is insane. Petashara will be the only one to die, but it is a not a self-deny, it is a deny. Mid lane, of course, now with the familiars, they're going to be pushing much quicker, especially trying to keep alive this siege creep. Nice arrow here onto the Tiny. You will have a stun out of the familiar, so they're not going to go for it quite yet. actually pushing them a bit closer. The familiars do get the benefit that they have the Gravekeeper's Cloak level of whichever one that Visage has, so the magic damage is actually not going to be too good against them. And we're going to have 2 Helms out in this scene, as there's already the Alpha Wolf completed. Pikachu now going to make very quick work of this tower, as the Siege Creep does get that benefit, so that it's 200% damage against structures as well. Don't forget, because of the armor type, now edging to Insane in a lot of trouble. There's the 1 stun. The second to follow up is not enough, as we don't have anything in the Soul Assumption, so there's no Soul Reception on Pikachu now. Beautiful arrow to stop the Tidehunter from coming out, but this body blocks out from J4, even while being slowed, are going to be enough. Avalanche going to force back, trying to force back one of the birds. I think he might have lost one of the familiars, and Happy Diara. Pretty nice on the Blinding Light, getting an assist to escape quite easily. And more time here for Palantimos to farm freely down bot lane, who has now just finished off the Helm for himself. I don't believe the Alpha Wolf creep auras stack, to be honest. That sounds like it would be very broken. I think... oh boy, we get to hurl some more boulders this game. Everyone get ready to hurl your boulders. Pikachu, however, has found already another Alpha Wolf creep. His commanding presence increasing the damage by 30% here, so it's an additional 5 damage in addition with the Ring of Bacillus. Good armor on these familiars as well with the Gravekeeper's Cloak. Makes them actually fairly tanky against this Tiny, who, like I said, it's level 6 now on the Visage. Even with no levels in the Soul Assumption, you can't even right-click him thanks to the level 4 now Grave Chill, so what do you even do here? It's a very unfortunate feeling for him, for sure. It's the Satyr being very annoying here. Throwing out a Hadouken, but taking the creep here away from the tower, making sure to keep the aggro. A second Hadouken. Look at this efficiency out from Palantimos. He's gonna get the deny there on last hero anyway, but it won't matter. The Satyr has done his parts. Level 7 now on Sani, probably looking to find a Chronosphere. You're gonna need, what the level is Illuminate here? Level 1 only, so I believe that's only 200 damage before reductions, as that arrow almost finds Sani juking through the trees. But now Pikachu has sent the familiars and himself up top lane. There's going to be a Fortify to come out after he's already gotten mid. Alpha Wolf is here too, as they've got a great ward as well, providing great vision here. Sani out in the trees, maybe looking, trying to find the Chronospheres. There's a potentially good one. The Blinding Light scatters them here just a little bit. Sani still holding on to it, maybe to drop it here onto Pikachu. They've got Nakatl in the backline, so there's going to be the Ravage dropped onto 2 heroes. They burned through most of the Gravekeeper's Cloak charge. Now finally all gone. He'll call 2 more birds in here, ending the stun onto 1. Still manages to die, however. There's going to be the dunk from Petashara. Finally, they're going to have the Chronosphere as they put down 2. Petashara and Pikachu now both dead. Bignum able to leap away from the incoming avalanche, but will not be able to escape regardless, as J4 is going to have the damage with the Blinding Light to get that kill. Nicely done. Good fight out of Team Unique. They utilize that Chrono. It is a 4v5 fight, which is a bit scary. What is Palantimos building? He's going to be going for the Necro. So I don't think we'll be seeing an Aghanim Scepter here, which is not surprising. That makes sense. It's a good item, but they have really good wave clear this game between the what's his name? Between the Tide as well as the Coddle. It's a good item though. I think it's an underrated item. If the problem is, it's an item that if you're playing behind is not going to save you. It's an item that you only get if you've basically stomped your laning stage, which J178 they've done okay here. Don't get me wrong, right? But it's an item you only get if you've really stomped your laning stage and want to keep up the pressure, choke the farm a little bit, get some more map control as those lanes push really hard. Like, incredibly hard. It's kind of ridiculous. Taking a look at last net worth, though. Palantimos leading the entire lobby here at 5,100. No boots to his name. What's on the courier, though? Oh, that's already the Necro Book 1 here. So, he's going to be pushing here pretty early on. And with these birds, they've got themselves, like I said, a very early activation lineup here. Level 2 here on the birds is fantastic. You already have the Blightstone on the Visage to decrease that armor, get a bit more damage in here as that physical resist goes down and down, allowing you to get more in. They're gonna get a tier 2 here actually, or at least force the deny to come out. Timos will send the creep forward to secure the last hit on the tower, so that's 2 towers already down, and they're gonna be going for more here as Bignum jumping in, landing the arrow onto J4. last hero, the last hero alive now, top lane. No more tier 2 either. He's going to have Ravage in 10. And J178, you know, they do all right in fights, but they do way better split pushing you to death. So they're more than happy to just kind of leave now. Petashara going to be going for the full boots first before he bothers with the blink dagger. He's had an okay start to the lane, finds himself third in net worth, but perhaps most surprisingly here, it's actually the off lane, the solo off lane Tide Hunter who's going to be the most farmed. Is going to be closing in on 5,300 net worth. As he's going to be the most farmed on the team here. We're going to miss a kill. Petashara going to get ganked in his jungle. Poor man just dying. No clothes on the body. No dignity there on the death of that X. But it's going to be a straight Necrobook rush here for the Lycan. Nice vision out from the side of Team Unique as well, planting a few defensive wards. As we can see, entrances to the jungle, in the river, as well as a nice aggressive ward for them to scout that kill and snag the axe. That sentry's not going to quite scout that ward. It shouldn't anyway. Yeah. They're going to smoke. Oh, I thought they were smoked up, but they're going to go just... It's a bit of an aggressive play here. They see Happy DUR. They put down a ward. He's going to scout himself now on the ward. Not quite worth a Chronosphere, though. It's not even off cooldown yet. 80 seconds. Looks like they used that to kill the axe. Would make a lot of sense. Pikachu continuing to push, has not found himself another Alpha Wolf. A third stun here is actually very useful for this team. They're lacking in very reliable stuns. They really only got one, and then you got plenty of setup, of course, so that's fine. That's really all you need. As the Coddle now is still only level 5, which is rough to see. I didn't click on Coddle there. Clicked on the wrong hero. That's very unfortunate. We landed an arrow onto someone. I saw that maximum stun duration. Let's see, Big Num continue. Oh, he's already got the Urn of Shadows up. Let's take a look at some of the items now as we hit a bit of a farming period. I think they want to finish off the Necro 3 here before they continue going. That's going to be Necro 2 on the courier now as Petashara continue to get aggressive top lane, has finished up the Power Treads. How's Tiny's items going? Blink Dagger soon, 200 gold needed as J4 just following him around, giving him that Chakra Magic, baby. 4-0 and 4 build here, so just no levels in the time dilation early on as they're pretty confident they can try and fight them as Pikachu might get gone on here. There's still no Blink Dagger quite yet, but this kill would secure them the kill. Moonlight Shadow now, as we're going to have a stomp onto one out of the Centaur Conqueror. Almost nearly perma-stunning the poor man. Arrow onto Faceless Void. Hit him actually mid-flight there as Big Num securing the rune, taking a lot of damage for this. Now Chrono's going to catch 2 there. There's going to be the Mystic Flare damage onto the Visage. Disco Ball gets dropped as well, drawing the Kitty Cat a little bit closer. Not quite killing her that time, though. Pikachu, I think, denies one of the runes. Oh, he's going to be going for a kill here onto So Bad. Palantino's actually going to grab it. That's going to be a stolen Chronosphere as well, buying themselves a bit of time here. Pikachu able to get off the familiar stun. Just buying a little more time, but this is not going to be going anywhere here. Pretty penny there on the price of those familiars head too. So we have a bit of a pause now. Well, we have a bit of a pause. We do want to give a quick shout out to our title sponsor here, OMG.bet. Make sure you guys check them out. Show them some support for showing us some support and sponsoring the tournament. Thanks again to OMG.bet. Mana Boots now on a Rubik. Gonna be able to keep up the spells stolen there. It's an interesting little bit of a stolen Chrono. I don't believe Palantimos. Oh, he actually was in that fight, and that was going to be the reveal of the Necrobook 2. Maybe I thought he was in a Chrono to just maybe allow him to get a tier 2 or something. But you can see the wards here from J178, nice and aggressive here as they want to scout anyone trying to farm and catch up. They've had a nice start here to the lanes, 9-5 the kill score here. At 15, now 16 minutes in. There's a nice little call. Ooh, the arrow not going to quite connect. Last hero barely dodging that one out. But Counter Helix does not care here if your damage is reduced. Pure damage, baby. Only reduces your attack damage output. Blink Dagger completed now on the Tiny, though, so that Blink Dagger reveal could be huge. We've now got Time Walk stolen on Rubik. Blink Dagger soon on the Axer. Needs a little bit more farm here, and we're going to go. Every single counter Helix is another step closer on the Smith Creep Wave. Might be Blink Dagger reveal there on accident if he maybe showed. I don't believe he did. They didn't have vision during the night. There's Maelstrom now on Void, going straight into Mjolnir here, interestingly enough, as they're going to try and do Roche early on here on J178. They've certainly got a lineup to do it, but they should get Palantinos in here. Indeed, there they go. Look at this. It's a whole freaking zoo. Doing plenty of damage here, even with the Howl. My goodness, look at this damage, but there's going to be Last Hero trying to walk in here, perhaps with the Ravage. Shapeshift now to do a bit more, trying to get the Ravage off. Will not be able to get an ideal one. Finally, he'll go for him, but the Doggy a little bit too fast now, chasing onto the backlines here, directly jumping onto them. Mystic Flare dropped to no avail as Last Hero continuing to get rang down by Bignum as well as Palantimos. Edging to Insane, getting forced out here by Pikachu, who now has the medallion. As finally Last Hero, all the mana burned, not going to quite get dunked. But my goodness, edging to Insane allowed nowhere near that fight. Pikachu doing an excellent job just forcing him farther and farther away. This should now be Roshan taking a nice fight out of these guys. So much damage done by the bottom as well, surprisingly. Must have been a good amount of damage there. And I believe they've caught the Tiny even, trying to go for the TP out. Can they find an arrow? They cannot in time. There were too many creeps in the way. I don't believe a leap was available either. He did just get that charge, so unfortunate timing there. Necro 3 now into the Vlads they will go. Maybe trying to secure all the tier 2s now with this Aegis, freshly claimed here. It's onto Pikachu. Plenty of damage onto him for sure now, especially with the level 2 familiars. I think these are still level 1 familiars. No, they're level 2 familiars, pardon me. Be ready to go in with the Blink Dagger is Tiny. He's got a Tide Hunter behind him if he wants to try and go for it. There's the Avalanche. Like I said, it actually doesn't seem to be burning off. The charges of Gravekeeper's Cloak as they'll jump now onto edging into Insane. The lockdown here is perfect, right into the dunk. Now stolen toss, but only Last Hero up. Now surrounded by 5 heroes, and in comes the Wolf Army here as they are hauling ass here towards Last Hero. Pikachu as well. There are so many units in the area here. Call from Petashar to hold him down. No dunk needed. Palantimos there securing another kill, dominating 4-0-3. As there's just so many things to attack. So many units. The the Anchor Smash is going to be really good this game, but it's just kind of ridiculous how many units are attacking him at once, especially ranged ones at that. And they go now to the tier 2 tower. There's the Howl. Look how quickly they take this with the birds too. My goodness. Seriously, what is this? This lineup pushes, what else pushes really nicely? I don't know. I don't have a really great analogy for that one. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that to see what else pushes. But it's quite a great lineup here for this. They even got a Spirit Vessel here to negate some of the healing there onto the Void in case that Illuminate healing comes out as well. They're gonna grab a tier 2 down bottom though, Team Unique, perhaps trying to get a fight. They do have the Mjolnir now completed, as maybe in a bit of trouble is Happy Diorara. 20-minute runes now spawning. Scan, not going to find anyone, but a nice arrow. Going to land a nice duration stun here onto the Void. There's going to be not a whole lot of follow-up, though, as Happy Diorara just poised here. Will break smokes. They're going to be able to find him, though. Now he's going to be in a bit of trouble. Oh, they almost blinding light them off of the cliff. I believe they've caught the Void, though. Not quite able to catch him, as the Avalanche will finish off Happy Diorara here. So a better engagement for them for sure. I think they just got their tier 1 taken, by the way, through backdoor. Yep. That's also what happened. I mean, there's no backdoor. I forgot. There's no backdoor on tier 1. Silly me. Only level 2 Visage Birds here. I don't think, without the toss, I don't think Avalanche actually will drop the damage. The Satyr Banisher living a bit longer here, but he's actually going to take a melee creep here, interestingly enough. Those don't disable backdoor, in case you were thinking of trying to do anything a bit sneaky with that. It doesn't work, especially because it's an enemy creep, but they lose that hidden passive once they're controlled by anyone. No backdoor. Or, they don't have disable backdoor, rather. Still have a few minutes left here on the Aegis. They might be able to find the last tier 2 here. Maybe looking for a fight as they'll smoke up S2. Petashar with the Blink Dagger. Now the completed Blade Mail, BKB, and Ags going to be next here, as that's going to be queued up. Happy to Yara. Going to be happy to deny this tower. Still, 2 heroes here. They've got a nice observation ward in the river, but smoked up. They're going to be hidden from that, as Palantimos will scout last hero here. Where is the Wolf Army? Ah, there it is. Well, there it was, as they're actually going to drop here. My goodness, burning off the mana. Wand Charge is used here as well as the Howl. Maybe just trying to continue being annoying. You get another Purge here in 7 seconds. I don't think you're going to quite catch him, but wow, you burn the mana off of that hero quite quickly. As now Petashara will show the arrow, not going to scout. Out the escaping Faceless Void. He's got another Time Walk here. Can't quite close the gap on him either. He's going to be able to safely escape. It's Palantimos. Again, with all of his units, going to scout out one hero. They haven't smoked up behind him, but it's that wolf. That cripple. Attack speed slow is pretty good. Actually, if they can actually get the wolves to attack them. They'll smoke now on the side of J178 once again, as that's going to be Aegis reclaimed though, so maybe they want to rethink this. Pikachu no longer smoked up either. Level 15 talent here. I suppose you go for the XP gain here, just because you want to finish it off early, right? That seems to make sense to me. Because then you get the level 3 birds faster, you get your +1 familiar at 25. You're probably going to go for the familiar's move speed. Haven't really seen the Soul Assumption utilized too much, as he's just began to level it now after he's maxed the Q and the Gravekeeper's Cloak. 80% damage reduction, of course, very useful here. How much damage does this do overall? 300 damage. So as long as he's not tossed, actually, considering what, there's like 5 or 6 procs there. Let me see if I can count during the next one, or I can just look it up real quick. We'll do that shamelessly. Google there on the Dota 2 wiki as mid lane here. Actually gonna catch one. Oh my god, the damage there with the Blade Mail. It's actually not so much there within the right attacks, but my goodness, it's a whole lot there thanks to the time locks. Because that item, as well as the Maelstrom procs, Mjolnir procs now actually ruin Faceless Void. He's taking the time lock damage, which makes Axe actually so much better against him. Alright. Damaging in 0.3 second intervals, resulting in 6 instances. Which means it does 50 damage in 0.3 second intervals. There's another call mid. They're going to snag one, pull him to tie it a little bit out of position. Which means that is enough here at level 4 toss. I think it's... I'm not sure if Gravekeeper Cloak calculates after damage reduction. What does that say? I'd imagine it's after damage reduction. Otherwise, that's a little bit of a weak ability. So with 25% magic reduction, that's going to reduce it by 17.5? Yeah. No, a bit more, isn't it? Anyway, I don't think it's actually enough to actually go through here. With the talent, it will be for sure, if you decide to take that on Tiny. As they're looking to take a fight, smoked up now, has not quite have that level 15. Yeah, that level 15 Avalanche talent might be really fantastic here against the Visage. The thing is, you do need to get them here onto... You need to land the Avalanche onto him, which is going to be a bit difficult, because he's going to be chilling not too far away, because the Familiars will lose the Cloak, I believe, if they're not too close. No, they even don't. They just always have it, baby. So yeah, you need to find Visage and burst them through, because then you can kill the birds very easily, and it's, you know, then those birds ain't shit. As the Wolves now scouting ahead along with the Familiars. Level 16 now here. Has he gone for the XP? He's gone for the Soul Assumption. It's fair this game, as maybe now positioned below them. There's going to be a Moonlight Shadow, but they aren't essentially where they caught one. It's Petashar dropping the Mystic Flare on top of him as well. Nice arrow. Not going to quite save the day, but they might allow this to turn around. There's going to be the Disco Ball to toss, however, closer to the bottom, killing Unique. As that toss, not going to be great. Petashar now buying back to catch two. There's going to be the Ravage. However, they're still going to get a spin here out of the Axe. So he will get a second kill now onto J4. That's so bad. Shriney's best to run away here. Fat chance against Palantimos. He's shape-shifted up. So that's an early buyback committed. But now Palantimos on a mega kill streak. Great fight again out of J178. Going with the D ward here early on, too. I don't think Roche is going to be quite up soon. They got about another minute here, so still that bottom tier 2 is still standing, and they've got no creep wave there to shove it in, so maybe trying to force buybacks here. It's a short respawn on the Void, but you've expended basically all of your ultis there within the Ravage and the Chrono, Mystic Flare, of course, and of course the Will-O-Wisp down. There's a Blink Dagger here, as now they're going to try and catch the Tide Hunter. Maybe not. That Howl plus 8 damage each on the Familiar doesn't seem all that strong, right? But when you consider that's almost a 50% damage increase when they attack, like, what, 4 times a second? That's pretty insane. That's not even the bird's final form either. Just you wait till he gets that last level. With that Solar Crest too, ooh baby. Pipe of Insight, such a great item here on the Visage. It allows him to keep that Gravekeeper's Cloak stacks up a bit more. I already have an AC as well on the Lycan here, which makes the birds that much better. Going for the Shadow Blade now is Lycan. Still no boots, of course. Wolves don't need and no boots, as they're going to catch once again here. Last hero likely to fall too. J4 not able to run away. Palantimos now unkillable. Did commit here onto the Shapeshift. They might have caught him in another one here, as there's going to be Sani. Has the time walk away and out of harm's way. He needs about another 1,000 gold here for the BKB, so he's in a bit of a rough time as they're low straight high ground. They know that there's still going to be no Chrono, no Ravage here. Chrono off cooldown soon though, 13 seconds, but he's going to be in the bottom lane as they jump forward. They caught one with a taunt. Nice arrow as well. Mystic Flare is dropped. So many units here to share it. There's the dunk finally to kill the Skywrath Mage. He does have buyback now, trying to hold him back. Ravage in 22 seconds. There's going to be the Will-O-Wisp holding it down 2 just for a little while. Isn't long enough. It is for them to catch the axe. Walking into it is last hero. Still no Ravage on him though. Stolen Chrono now actually holding them back a little bit more. As happy to you are gonna try TPing out right in front of the Faceless Void, who of course can still move around in the Chrono regardless of who put it down. He's going to be able to get a double kill on now, but a good Chronosphere preventing any additional follow-up there. Petashara's life likely lost, so he'll go ahead and be a bit flashy and create a bit more space on the retreat. Of course, he's not required to die here, but it looks way cooler if he does. Arrow. He's actually going to hit here onto Faceless Void. There's going to be Mystic Flare onto Pikachu now. Still has a little bit left of the Gravekeeper's Cloak. Silenced up for a fair amount of time here thanks to the Mystic Field. The Ravage now onto 2. Will be able to kill him. He's going to be able to buy back. He does not have the Summon Familiars though. He's still got his here for a little while. They're actually not going to quite kill them as back comes in Palantimos. He's going to send forward the little Zookeeper. Not going to get a kill there though, and straight back into Roche they'll go. There's going to be no Potom, no Petashara either with a buyback. It's now Rubik making his way over. No really great spells to steal here at the moment. For sure, Tide Hunter, yep, he's not going to let them steal Ravage, and that's going to be Roche taken here. They'll send in a Wolf, which will get killed nearly immediately. Aegis now on Sani. Cheese, I believe, on the Tiny. Nearly finishing off his gigantic stage transformation. 18 on the Void, so he does have that level 3 Chronosphere now. We'll up a bit for the next cooldown. BKB queued up now for Pikachu, but could have been a very big, maybe even game-losing fight there out of J178. Last year, we're going to get caught here for sure. They're still holding on to the Centaur stop. Miscommunicating there a bit. The lift, this is a very tanky hero though, and there's actually going to be the tree volley up on Tiny now. He does have the Echo Saber completed as long as the Blink Dagger and a Cheese. Last hero barely taking any damage here. Petashara drawing him a bit closer. Nice arrow to lock him down even more, but nice color on this guy. He is so damn tanky. Look at that. All that damage and took about maybe an eighth of it maybe, honestly. It's ridiculous. I'm surprised there's no Crimson Guard here yet, which gives you a 50% chance to block most of the damage coming out of the birds. As actually, I don't know if Crimson Guard, if it calculates birds as hero units, because I think it's 56 damage block. There's a 50% chance on ranged units, unranged heroes anyway. So like against a Medusa, for example, there's a 50% chance when the active is there that you can block a good amount of that damage. With the active, but I don't know if that's the case against the Visage Familiars. If it is, then they literally do no damage to you, which is fantastic. Sani playing quite aggressively here. They're going to have a Ravage back up in 17. Chronosphere is available as well. Petashara maybe looking for the jump here. Smoke behind is going to be the rest of Team Unique. As Petashara now in a bit of a rough time. It's going to be the Shapeshift committed as onto the back lines goes the dog here. Nearly dying here in the Mystic Flare as they will be able to kill J4. Now Petashara holding down 2 heroes here. Sani continuing to pump in the damage. There's going to be the Chronosphere now catching the Leaping Kitty onto 2. Now holding off on Petashara for now. There's Potom now dead. As he will get the axe to follow. Now so bad, actually gonna die to Palantimos. Making pretty quick work of him with the Zookeeper creeps there. Zookeeper, Palantimos doing a pretty good job there with the micro. So no Ravage committed there, but now with Chronosphere on cooldown makes it a bit of an easier fight to take. They're gonna commit the Fortify now, as the side lanes at least are shoving in. BKB in about 200 gold here for the Lycan. He did get locked down quite a bit there in the Shapeshift by the Mystic Flare in the toss. Almost actually killing him. Surprised we didn't see a tree volley in that fight. There he goes, just casually nuking the entire top wave. Cool guys don't look at tree explosions. See, that's BKB now, and Palantimos buying out here. Will not have that buyback. 7-0 and 9, so, you know, you don't need buyback if you don't die. Tap's head. That's a good point. He's yet to die this game. As Marana also buying out here, going straight for the Greaves, has the mechanism available. Looking like they might go for another smoke here, potentially. Just getting the D wards out the way. There's plenty of X's and O's being drawn on the map. Perhaps trying to push one more lane here before they go for it. The tomato creep roaring all over them. So in they go. Lines being drawn here. Still has that Aegis though on the Faceless Void, and thanks to the Chakra Magic, he's able to actually get off 2 time walks here back to back. They're gonna make the jump onto him now. The arrow is set up here. Nice blinding light though. They have additional stomps. Will-O-Wisp getting dropped. It won't save him. There's gonna be the tree volley in the back. Not comboed too well there with the Will-O-Wisp. However, it's not Petashara gonna be invised up. They have caught one, but it's the BKB Palantimos continuing to run and cause chaos on the back lines. In the meantime, there's gonna be the Ravage. They've jumped here onto Sani though. Don't quite have the damage. However, BKB finally gets popped onto him as Palantimos' will expire, and looks like they'll go ahead and take that fight as a win here for J178. Nicely done for them. That was a great fight. They had great control, nearly getting Sani a second time there before he managed to get the BKB and time walk off. But really scary for them. Really scary fight for sure. They got that first life, no problem. Ravage used now. There's going to be just Chronosphere to worry about here for about another minute or two. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Edge into Insane just was not in a fantastic position initially to combo the tree volley there with the Will-O-Wisp. That's now still working towards his BKB. Does not have buyback, I believe. It looks like look at buyback status just momentarily here. Both cores here, both position 2s, or position 1s rather, Palantimos nor Sani have buyback. They're both about 1,000 gold off of it. It won't take too long to farm up here, of course, but still could be quite significant here. It's just Petashara, Potom, as well as the mid-tiny here with buyback. Sani still has that Chronosphere. 35-minute runes we're going to be fighting over potentially. Maybe they're just going to be able to chill out as there is a wolf there scouting them out. Maybe the call is going to be there. Onto the bases where they go. There's an arrow, but the BKB is faster now. Holding on to the Chrono. He wants Pikachu. He's got Pikachu. Axe now with the wand charges. Still silenced up, taking a good amount of magic damage. Walking into the Chrono just barely here. Still alive. That one bird might just finish him off, though, as the Gush actually will do the trick instead. They've gotten a tiny, however, as it's going to be Palantimos doing the damage here. Able to catch him out here, likely in the river, it looks like. Just on the back lines here, so they can continue to chase. Ooh, the stuns from the familiars don't come out quite fast enough. You still don't have a Ravage, but you still do have Sani as well as Tidehunter, both still chilling here as Happy DR. Going to be going to break the invis there to drop a rune. Nice bit of control here onto 2. They're going to be able to stack the stuns. Will-O-Wisp. Sani, though, going to end up dying as that Ignis no longer comes out. Lights a-blazing. Buyback now onto the tiny arrow coming through. Not going to catch anyone, though, as they've retreated back up to the shrine here. Whew. It's another good fight from J178, though, all things considered. I'm surprised they're still taking these late game fights here. So now they have intel thanks to the dogs. Really the wolves, I suppose. Wolves are kind of dogs though, aren't they? I don't know. In any case, who actually got the bounty rune? That's the important part in there, right? So Bad actually gets the bounty rune, so I retract my previous statement completely. Team Unique have won that fight. They got the bounty rune. Wolves, as well as the Centaur Conqueror. Trying to find anyone. There's an arrow somewhere. Last hero's a bit out here. I don't think they can really catch him, though. That's the 8-second BKB now here on Lycan. There's actually no Blink Dagger here on the Tide. He's going to be going for... question mark? Could be a Lotus. Could be a Sheepstick. Could be a Shiva's, maybe, more likely. I think a Shiva's this game is actually going to be pretty good. Reduce the movement speed, as well with the active, and the guard, of course, is fantastic. Anything that does straight damage block is so good here against lineups where a ton of units are hitting you. Same issue, same thing, same reason why you build it against like the PL, for example. Of course, when PL gets the Diffusal Blade, it becomes a little bit less relevant. But the point is, or rather, it's the same concept, essentially. Plus, you get that crit as well. No one ever takes that though. Everyone takes the Doppelganger CD. But we haven't seen PL since last TI, so. And not the just most recent TI, TI 8 TI, of course. Or maybe 2 TIs ago, was it? Was that the one, Liquid one, right? Or was it OG? I don't remember. Oh, goodness. Either way, it's been a while since we've seen PL. Partly because as well as there's a lot of strong illusion wave or illusion clearing heroes that are quite popular, especially now with Axe coming back. Like, yikes, you don't really want to be playing any illusion based heroes against him. Doesn't do too well against the Naga, but the lockdown's always really good against her. Plenty of X's and O's as they've drawn almost what looks like a sleeping Snorlax. They're blocking off their entire jungle, so someone's got to go get that Poke Flute and play it so that they can actually farm in there again on the side of Team Unique. Yeah, but just a pause here. Just a frickin' pause. Not really, not really all that much to say, is there? Satanic on the Void, that's something to say. Something to write home about. Tiny going to be going for the Maelstrom. The Daedalus has already the Crystallis completed. So that doesn't give as beefy as a crit, but still the damage increase multiplied by 6 because you throw 6 trees. You yeet 6 trees. The tree yeet, thanks to the Aghanim Scepter, could be very strong against them. Do we have Palantimos Aghanim Scepter completed? Not quite yet. Looks like he's maybe gone away from the BKB, or it's about to leave the base on the courier, but that's the Shadow Blade, however, from Palantimos. It's going to be good, allowing him to get that nice little bit of additional damage. Building into a Silver Edge is going to be the natural progression, and good this game too, because of course of the Kraken Shell. They can go ahead and crack in that shell, if you know what I'm talking about. Because of course the break is going to be applied, and then they can murder him. It's very strong. What else can you break this game? I think that's going to be about it. Everyone else has got a bunch of actives that you can't break. Yeah, it's going to be literally only for him. I guess you could break Backtrack if you end up getting it here. They can break very easily So Bad, who is now beyond godlike, his 11th kill this game. Again, not saving for buyback, because why buyback if you don't die? Lol. Frickin' chat, you dummies. It's that easy. Got a Shara here. We'll see where he goes. He does have the BKB in the quick buy. The Axe is good too, because it reduces all your damage there by 30%, as that's going to be a nice arrow here onto the Tide Hunter. Avalanche to keep him at bay, though. As I wonder, Visage... Here's the thing, right? The 2-second Gravekeeper's Cloak is also fantastic, because then you recharge all of your things in just about 8 seconds if you lose them, compared to... Well, it's 50% damage, so compared to 16 seconds. Oh, that's the wrong ability. Oh man, it's actually 1 second, so yeah, that's even better. Yeah, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it? As perhaps in a bit of trouble here as Happy You Are. They might catch him here with the Illuminates, not quite, as now they're going to be roaming around from behind. They're holding on to a Ravage though, waiting for a hero, and that hero is going to be the Faceless Void, who's instead gone to the mid lane. They have caught one and dunked one. It's the Tiny. He's got no buyback though. There's going to be the Will-O-Wisp. It's got no tree volley. They cannot yeet the trees. J4 gets eaten immediately by this dog as the pack descends now onto last hero. So bad, trying to do whatever he can, but going to get caught here by the call of Petashara. Sani continuing to try and farm as best he can. There's going to be the stun. There's going to be a second consecutive stun here. Do they have the lockdown for Sani? There's going to be the BKB as Petashara using all the wand charges. There's going to be Satanic as well. Doesn't really want to right-click through and try and lifesteal off of the Blade Mount. Seems a little bit counterintuitive. There's finally the Chronosphere on top of the Ravage. Good damage now onto Palantino, so they will commit the Mystic Flare, finally killing him. 1,000 gold now for Sani. That'll solve your buyback issues for sure. Nearly now having the Butterfly available for purchase. Petashara now jumping in, gonna catch the last hero here, but he's more than happy to continue fighting, as guess what? He's still on full HP, but gonna continue chasing here against 4 heroes. A little bit ill-advised for sure, and he's gonna go ahead and back off now, but a kill there onto Palantimos is huge. They finally managed to hit the brakes on this freight train of a frickin' Lycan. Ravage and BKB used there consecutively. Maybe it's slightly miscommunicated, but doesn't matter when you got the kill. Dead for only another minute, though, is Palantimos. 12, 1, and 11, and finally he dies. $23 now on the Void. Has enough money for the Butterfly, I believe. No, he doesn't. It's a very expensive item. Needs a little bit more, but that is going to be Shiva's Guard completed. Big item. Let me take a look here. Reduces the attack speed, of course, is fantastic. Yeah, just the attack speed and the movement, so of course, it's going to be great here. As in they go, there's that passive. You can already see the effect it has here onto the Summoned Familiars. Which, speaking of that, will get summoned here once again, so they really could use a break here against some Palantimos respawning in 10 seconds, as there's going to be BKB instead of the Aghanim Scepter, which I think is a good item this game. They're still quite good because that 30% damage reduction on the Battle Hunger while also making it AoE is fantastic here, as there's a Hex onto 1. Is that going to be Pikachu's? Whose Hex is that? Oh, it is his. I was like, why did he build a Shiva's? Edging to Insane now has completed the Daedalus. So it does have the full amount of damage. And the Butterfly too now. I don't think that's going to be buyback though. 1k short here. Could farm that up pretty quickly, especially because they still have a few towers to get through before they start to threaten the high ground push here. We'll go ahead and keep buyback up now for a while, as it seems to be a little bit more important. Nearly everyone on the Radiant side, Radiant equals J178 by the way, having buyback. You're going to have it here soon on the Visage, but even sooner on the Wolf, whom has built armor, by the way. BKB will be down to 7 seconds. Still 8 seconds, actually. Didn't use it in that last fight. Wouldn't have helped as he was in the Chronosphere. As Smoke's here on the high ground. They will break, but they're going to have good vision here. Smoke going to break up there. Whoa, he's going to be a little bit quicker here onto the Hex with the Mystic Flare to try and turn this around into the arrow as well. Sani getting stunned up here. The toss is going to actually kill him. Stolen toss. Bignum getting the kill credit there. That's a massive pick as he's got no buyback now. Palantimos shapeshifted, running down J4 here as he's going to be the next to die. Of course, they've caught so bad as well in the meantime, as Palantimos will run down these supports. No chance that they're going to be able to escape him whatsoever, as Boulder being hurled now mercilessly by Palantimos at Roche. Has gotten the Wolves talent. I love it. Truly Zookeeper. He's truly a pack leader now, honestly. Role-playing the hero. Just needs to sell the AC because he doesn't need money. But Refresher Shard and Aegis and Cheese onto a Pikachu then is going to be the move. Third Roche not yielding an Ags would have been very good here for Pikachu. Gluing in on that 25 talent, I still think you want to go for the +1 familiar. That increases your damage output by a butt ton. That's actually the math here, so they might have caught last year. Look at the body blocks out from all of these freaking creeps. No buyback on the Void here for 30 seconds. They're going to go straight into the base of the Tree Volley. Going to try and nuke down the creep wave. There's going to be the Hex and the break, however, onto the Tidehunter. Look how quickly he dies now. The dunk from downtown, able to grab him as he's going to be TPing right back in. Does have a Ravage in 18 seconds back until the Void is alive here. He's clear he doesn't have buyback, or he would have committed it already, though, as there's going to be another call here. They're going to jump again onto the Tidehunter. BKB's now onto 2. The Will-O-Wisp not doing a whole lot. Ravage just to save his own life. As they will get that disco ball down, but that's a 10-second BKB here onto Petushara, but Ravage is committed. Now Void is alive, makes him a little bit less stronger as Pikachu continuing to fight here. Does have the refresher shard if his little baby boys do die here. Look at this Wolf Pack, still somehow alive as the tree volley only going to be able to toss one tree out of the potentially 6 because of the lack of trees in your base. It makes it very hard to defend against the Tiny, makes it much better to push. So it would really behoove Unique to try and fight outside of the base, because there's way more potential choke points here for Sani to land a good chrono. There's way more trees outside your base. Like, you can already see where he's going to want to position himself here. Like a chrono here would be fantastic, right? Because then there's a ton of trees. It's a nice choke point, but they're not going to get that luxury here as Sani trying his best to stun up the familiars. Will get stunned up a bit himself, but Mjolnir is such a strong item against him in this game. Last year, getting a bit aggressive now, so there's going to be the chrono here onto 2. BKB as well onto Sani. Happy Diara will die as Pikachu coming in the damage here onto the backlines. Coddle likely to die here, will go down, but in the backlines, they've lost Petushara as well. Tiny jumping in, following the Chronosphere up with his nice bit of damage. Now Sani dropping the time dilation slow. That's going to be the Aegis burn now off of Pikachu as Big Num is slowly but surely getting nuked down there by the tree yeeting of Reduce, edging to Insane, rather able to dodge out that tree toss, but now Visage in a lot of trouble. The Mystic Flare nuking him down nearly 100%. Grave Chill not going to give him the move speed he needs. Potom will be able to leave at least along with Petushara, but they've lost 3-4 if you include Aegis, and you've got no buyback now on your Visage, as he's now purchased himself a BKB, which would have been very good in that fight, but was in the backpack, or he just I don't know, maybe he just bought it there and he took it from his stash, but an unfortunate death. Here they go, Sani. BKB back up in a few more seconds, going straight into that Scotty now. Still has a 6-second duration here on the BKB. Petushara will now buy back here, so I don't want him to take up too many lanes of barracks here. They're going to get at least one for sure. There's going to be the jump out from Petushara, but the stun there to immediately follow up, nearly killing him, to be quite honest. Counter Helix, my goodness, look at that damage. But Lifesteal is going to be worth attacking him even through that blade now, though, because you do Lifesteal for 280%, right? 280%? Look at that, it's 200%, but they're going to be able to kill one here, as Palantimos going to land the kill quite easily there onto the Faceless Void, onto the Skywrath Mage, easily landing that kill. Arrow coming through, almost catching the Void there. It's going to be safe, though. Ooh, this game, all of a sudden hanging by a thin thread here. A little bit of back and forth, as there's Potom actually. Hold that thought. Not going to quite be able to snag that Haste Rune. Difference in XP worth now. Going to be favoring Unique likely here after all those kills that they've gotten. Remember that these squares mean, oh, I forgot when Dota used to say opponent. That's funny, I just had a little bit of... Do they still say pwned? I don't actually know anymore. I don't think they say pwned anymore. Yeah, they used to say pwned here, but whatever. I wonder how long we're going to have Quake references in video games for. Have you ever thought about that? Because they're still in Dota, of course. The First Blood, Mega Kill, Rampage, blah, blah, blah. That's all from Quake. Maybe it's just in Dota, but, I mean, First Blood is just a reference that has been pretty persistent. I mean, it's in League, it's in... What else is it in? I don't know. It's still in other things, for sure. Maybe just Valve games. Interesting. It's kind of even more interesting when you think about it, because Quake early on and Counter-Strike, really the Half-Life mod, used to be like really big competitors in terms of trying to get people to buy the game, right? So the fact that they're so not really closely, like you either played CS or you played Quake. Like if you look at a lot of like old CS players, like people that used to play Pro and Source and 1.6, and even some of them now, actually, some of the older guys, they probably started in 1.6, but some of them are actually Quake players as well, because it was the other big FPS you played. Anyway, that's a really big tangent here, just buying a bit of time as everyone's going to be back up now. Buybacks coming off cooldown. Petushara committing his, unable to get anything out of it, but nearly everyone in the game, save for Pikachu, actually now having the buyback. So it is a bit spooky here if they are able to catch the Visage. Tidehunter now with a Heart of Tarask is going to be even more tanky, but that break will still nuke him down quite quickly. It's a very nice item picked up here, as that'll basically complete the 6th slot now onto Lycan. He's got himself, what else can he get? I mean, I guess a Moon Shard, and you can eat an Ags if you want. I don't know. The thing is, of course, with the Aghanim's upgrades, especially now that you're against a lane, well, it's still actually going to be quite advantageous because they're going to be evenly matched. It's supers against supers. These guys, of course, way tankier than the wolves, but the real benefit that comes through is that you do get the Howl buff on them, as well as any other buffs here. So there's going to be 25 on the Visage now, has gone to the +1 Familiar, still holding on to the Refresher Shard as well. So you can drop 3 stuns here back to back. Wouldn't be too surprised to see it. It's a nice little pocket strategy out from the Visage. Pretty nicely, pretty strong ability on him, potentially, we could see used. His unique will finish off now the top shrine. Roshan about to respawn here, maybe as soon as in a minute. That one for sure will carry an Aghanim's Blessing on it, though. Who do you give that to? Almost certainly the Void here. He's not queued up in Ags. Tiny's already got one, obviously. J4, a good one. And yeah, same thing to the Skywrath Mage. There's a case to be made about giving it to the Tide as well to further reduce the armor of this team. Of course, the Gush is very strong there like that, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think having more Chronos is going to be able to win you this game rather than having the ability to do more damage. As now it looks like everyone on J178 has just bought out, more or less. Patashara buying out now for the Tome of Knowledge, still a little bit far off of the 25 talent, but now has the Aghanim Scepter, Hood of Defiance in the backpack, has the cheese to his name. Roche, 20 seconds, and then we'll be seeing when it'll respawn. They caught mid lane though. Bignum has an E-Blade here. It looks like that's what she's bought out for, and Palantimos as well has just bought an item. Oh, of course, it's the Nullifier here. Hasn't revealed that yet, I believe, either. As the Wolves scouting out any rotations here from mid. Bignum trying his best to paint last hero a bit closer as they look at the mid wave. Roche, it's going to be a long one. 2 minutes and 30 seconds until he's back. Level 3 Necro, still no boots on the Lycan. Who needs boots, man? Don't meme with me. I think Visage, I mean, if you go with the Ags here, if you go Ags, I suppose you have to, I mean, once you don't have the Refresher Shard, actually, it's not going to be a problem, but right now, you're running out of slots here, is the issue, as we're looking to be gearing up here for the late game, which is when supports really start kicking in here. I think the Rubik support is going to be much better, even though he's not really had too much of the farming abilities, because it is a Rubik 5, which I do not like. I would really like to see him get an Ags. Of course, that his only real hope is getting it off of the Roche, but I think at that point you're going to want to give it to the Visage over basically anyone on this team for now, assuming he doesn't buy one before then. He's got a lot of gold saved up, but a lot of that is going to be committed now for the buyback, as smokes will break here onto Sani, but there's going to be Moonlight Shadow keeping them invis a little bit longer. They might be able to catch one here, as Visage with the BKB refreshing as well for the lockdown here onto the Faceless Void. A second Hex, a second round of stuns out from the Familiars, and there's the damage needed for the Chrono, or for the Void, for the Chrono Ura. 2 buybacks now here on the side of Team Unique, as Pikachu has committed just about everything here, still somewhat staying alive, but there's a massive Will-O-Wisp now, as the Ignis holding down the Visage for just long enough for them to be able to kill him. He will buy back, but Palantimos, where is this dog at? Where is he? He's been up here, but he got a kill now onto J4. The damage has been done, though. Chronosphere is still available. You do have, I believe, still the Familiars going on, as there's going to be the BKBs now popped here onto 2 Petashov. Slowly dying here. The Blade Mail's not enough for them to dissuade from chasing, as Faceless Void now has even more damage with the Daedalus. As now Happy to You are going to get chronoed up here, committing the Chronosphere there for the Rubik. The position 5 there, taking that. They did a very good job here, able to lock down Sani on his first life, but he does have the buyback now. Roche is now available for the taking. Petashara, no buyback here for 100 seconds, and a quick pause here. Take a sip of water there, rehydrate, as it looks like we're in for a next Roche here. We'll be up in 20 seconds for both teams to take. Skywrath Mage, what the hell is this? What is his inventory? That's got to be a Lincoln's? What's he building? Just a casual ultimate orb, I suppose. I mean, sure, man. Pipe of Insight, though, on the Tide Hunter. Ooh, it's a tough one, man. They also don't have a butterfly on this team, if I'm not mistaken, right? So they need to rely... That's why it took so long for them to freaking kill that Faceless Void. Does he have the backtrack talents, too? Oh, my goodness, he got the backtrack talents. Yeah, so that's why it's taking them so long. He goes, okay, you guys aren't going to build any... you guys aren't going to try and deal with my evasion? That's fine. I'll take backtrack, then. Good luck hitting me now, dweebs. 35% evasion, of which, if you make it through that, he has a 25% chance to actually just backtrack it anyway, of just not giving a darn about, I almost said not giving a duck, like literally duck, you know, like when you auto-correct it on your phone. My brain actually auto-corrected it there. But yeah, he just has got a 25% chance of just negating your damage, regardless or not if it goes to do evasion, you know. So that could be huge here. Soul Assumption can be dodged by backtracked, not really dodged, right? The break here going to be quite good. That should still break. It used to back then, so I'd imagine it would still break now. Is it on the time walk now? It's just a talent though. It should be broken here. Let me check. I'm sure it's here in the wiki while we're still paused. Lots of pauses this game for sure, but team's definitely taking their time here. All right, backtrack. It's not evasion. Yeah. It doesn't evade any of the side effects. Yeah. We know. Yeah, so True Strike, obviously not stopping backtrack. So like something like I said, late game here. He's actually gonna go for a refresher orb here on Visage. I think I might prefer to see a Bloodthorn instead. So there's gonna be a buyback. They're gonna commit now as Roche will be respawning soon. Not gonna quite find it yet. Will be team unique, but I might rather just see a Bloodthorn because that'll help out quite a bit with the evasion. I think they're gonna be having more trouble with the initial evasion than anything else, to be honest. Because they have plenty of things to deal, like attacks, right? So it's not like they only have 3 or 4 units doing the damage. They've got way more. Palantino's here, gonna get the break now onto Tide. We're slowing him down a bit. TP's from 1 here, as they're now gonna go ahead and back off. Nullifier placed down, able to break him just a bit. Not too much, though. Yeah. Evasion has priority over backtrack. Good to know. Yeah. So that's something I learned today. Nicely done. Void gonna find himself an Arcane Rune. Probably gonna be looking to use this. I mean, not really too useful on him, quite honestly. Asani now straight in a road she goes, doing a lot of damage, and he is really quite a tanky boy now, deceptively tanky. As that'll ripping this straight from the wiki, increases his total health or his effective HP now by 33%. If they don't have a break onto him now, in a bit of trouble. 3 toss charges onto Pikachu. They go. He's bought back. BK Bead. Can he live through this? Sani jumping forward with the time walk, nearly trying to put him down, as they're gonna be able to disarm him at least with the E-Blade. Now barely keeping him alive. The tree gonna be not doing, I mean, it does a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but thanks for the Gravekeeper's Globe, he's able to negate 80% of that. Ooh, that is scary. Now the arrow's surely going to find someone here as BKB. Now from behind is Palantino's. They've called J4. They're going to be immediately be able to kill him now. Body blocking. The last hero to stay up here. He's pretty comfortable here, though. He's got a Ravage ready to use it. Nice stuns onto him, though, but they need a break. But they need to kill the Tiny first. They might just be able to do it. The dunk comes through. Now last hero will buy back, however, now on Engine 2 Insane. Going to be botsing right back in here onto Sani. They do have themselves a Chronosphere available now. As 55-minute runes will spawn, so we'll take maybe a little bit of a break here. Back into Roche we go now as you're going to get a few D wards. A nice arrow will zone him out as the Wolf will scout his progress now onto Roshan. It's still a 5v4 though. You didn't get that Ignis drop there in that last fight. This Roche just has so many things to bash on here. There's so many units constantly in his pit. Wants nothing to do with this. Everyone wants that Aghanim's Blessing. Woo. Yeah, that damage output is so strong. I mean, it's only still useful until you get a last hit. In the middle of fights, that might be really good here. As now there's going to be... Wow, that's still very loud, unfortunately. The loudest sound ever. Just AoE, Battle Hunger. Alright, so we've chilled now. Roche still available for the taking. Both teams kind of playing chicken around it. Palantimos, last hero, and the Potom now only with buyback here, as The wolves continue to get spawned and thrown out here to scouts. And Arrow gonna go ahead and snag that ogre. Easy. Easy farm. Oh yeah, I guess you can't break pass. You can't break backtrack, it looks like. Interesting. Oh my goodness, there's gonna be a chrono now. Oh, he whiffed it. He whiffed it. That's a big whiff now. The triple arrow not gonna connect here onto anyone. Stolen avalanche. I was looking. I was like, where the hell did he go? Not gonna find anyone now on the backlines though. Rubik able to barely live a bit longer now. Likely to pay for this is so bad. Trying to find the kill, will be unable to. No dunk coming through there. It's magical damage, so it actually does get buffed. As now Palantimo's going through, they're going to go for the tree volley, the break cover, trying to hold down Tidehunter, will be muted up, but no silence there, so he's able to get off the Ravage, save his own life. Oh, not quite C limit though, it's the triple arrow. We're going to connect onto 2! Oh, that efficiency with that J4 now dead, does not have the ability to drop the Ignis, as now Pikachu running onto the back lines. They've muted and broken. Tidehunter here once again running back into the enemy team, trying to do whatever he can, but he finally will die. Does have buyback, they've only taken him down once. Oh my goodness, now with that, certainly it's going to be the opening for the Roche play here. Who do you give the Ags for? That's going to be the next question. Who gets the Aegis? Who gets the Ags? Look at this. It's ridiculous. Alright, so Ags on Pikachu makes sense. Resummon those birds, please. Who gets the Aegis, though? Again, Pikachu and Cheese and Refresher. Just everything for Pikachu. I like it. I like it. Buybacks now here onto last hero, as they should get themselves this last tier too, boys, but they might just go all in here. J178 Petashara continuing to push out these lanes here thanks to the battle hunger. Really effective against pushing lanes, to be quite honest. You even got super creep in that lane, so it's a bit overkill, but I commend him for it anyway. Now it's Petashara still. What's he got? Nothing new yet. He does have buyback though. That's going to be the important thing. No Blink Dagger on Rubik. I really like Rubik Marana is fine. It worked in the laning stage. It's good, right? He's stealing some good spells here, but I just really like position 4 Rubik. I think it's much better. Because again, Axe, kind of an underrated ability there. He's really able to just nuke down creep waves that quickly, isn't he? Oh, of course, Battle Hunger DPS plus 120 there, so that would explain it for sure. Is able to pretty much push any wave. As by the way, they took the tier 2 tower in case you ever doubted the pushing potential of, you know, Visage plus Lycan in late game. Yeah, good one there. All right, there's gonna be a Bloodthorn queued up finally. Yeah, I don't know if you can break backtrack or not. It doesn't really look like you can, because you're right, because it's a talent. You know. Look, I've got it open on my second monitor here. It doesn't look like you can break it. Honestly, sometimes the wiki is a little bit confusing with its icons. I know it's like for the Magic community or the Silver Edge icon. Like, I know essentially what it means, but like sometimes, like, just say it, man. Just be direct. Let's see. Can you? It used to break, it looks like. Oh, well, let me go to the break wiki page, right? Yeah, no, it's, oh no, not disabled by break, you're correct. So they actually can't even break the backtrack, so his HP pool is just literally increased by 33%. And they still haven't gotten themselves a source of True Strike either, so I'm not going to do the math on that, because that seems a little bit sloppy for me to just do it here on the figurative napkin I have here. But yeah, you can, you backtrack every single sort of, or you can backtrack every single sort of damage. It's just pseudo-random which ones you do or do not, so it's potentially one of the strongest abilities in the game, to be quite honest, or one of the strongest talents. It's rarely taken though. He's not just doing it this game because they don't have evasion. He's doing it for other reasons as well. It's a good ability. It's a good talent, obviously, but yeah, because that's I kind of like that a bit better. He goes that, and then I think he goes instead for the Daedalus instead of the Scotty initially, because that when you're 25, that essentially increases your health pool by 33%, which is, I think, going to be more than a Scotty does. You just don't get the armor. Now with Aghanim Wilson here onto Pikachu, there's going to be plenty of damage. The Illuminate keeping the Burbs alive just a bit longer, but the Cleave will go ahead and kill them off. Well, it'll kill all but one of them off, but negating plenty of them there. It's going to go ahead and just recall them anyway. Arrow going to connect now onto the Void. It's not a very long arrow, but these shotgun arrows, man, you know, you might be shooting into a very big barn, but you're bound to hit the side of it now, as there's a second arrow into a lift. Continuing to just not push the luck here, J178. 1 hour into this game, even though, you know, a 20-minute victory is worth the same as a 120-minute victory, they sure do feel a little bit more, I don't know, important is a wrong word, but you seem, I don't know, it's like a 120-minute victory or a loss is so much more heartbreaking or better than a 20-minute one, isn't it? You just, the adrenaline just, I feel like once you sneak past that 60-minute mark, once the supports are finally level 25, he's not gone for the spell amp actually on a Rubik, by the way. Instead, opting for the telekinesis cooldown, which reduces it to 7 seconds. I don't think I've ever seen anyone take this personally. It's really interesting though. Then again, you don't see a whole lot of 5 Rubiks in pro play either as well. Interesting. Well, I mean, I guess it's really strong actually with the Arcane Supremacy, but yeah, I mean, not to be honest, there's not a whole lot of fantastic spells that would benefit off of that, as now they're going to go here onto the Pikachu Illusions. Jumping forward is going to be Petashara. He's not going to find anyone though, and the Tree Volley doing massive damage as well. They've nuked down again for 3 of 4 Burbs, and that's Aegis reclaimed again, so they've only gotten a tier 2 out of this Aegis. Buybacks now all ready for J178, so we could be in for a bit of a longer one here. Actually, Octarinkle on Axe, allowing him to... I mean, it's pretty good. Reducing the cooldown on Blink Dagger, reduces the cooldown on Berserker's Call now by 2.5 seconds, and Blade Mail as well. Maybe most significantly here for the BKB. Aeon Disc now for Pikachu will be the next item. Do we finally have that Bloodthorn yet? Not quite. It's one of the most expensive items in the game, actually. Maybe Dagon 5 takes the cake there, potentially. I don't remember off the top of my head. They're both a lot of money, basically. So you need a lot of money there. Because they might have caught one. Indeed, they have. But thanks to the Aegis, there's going to be the Chronosphere. But the Hex, he's actually outside. That's a very fast picket on. The Ignis now on the back lines. Blast Hero just walking in, ready to ravage. Going to get tossed up to the cliff. However, he's got no method of getting down. There's a Force Staff now from the team. Pikachu Aeondis now propped here, taking no damage. As now Petashara trying to do whatever he can. No one actually dying here quite yet. 3 mini fights have really broken out. Let's focus now onto this one, edging to Insane, getting mini stunned here by the birds, but no one dying yet. There's finally the Ravage now on last hero, and Pikachu will die. Dead for 2 minutes, but does have buyback. So bad, however, will die, as it looks like they've exchanged a position 4 for your mid laner, which is going to be a less than ideal trade for sure. Good Forest Staff there on last hero to get him down. It's Petashara now making a break for it and wants nothing to do with this team anymore. Alright, so now we're definitely in for a bit of a longer one. Yeah, apparently you just can't break... You don't break any passives granted by... Like, you can't break cleaves granted by passives. You don't break the Mirana mana break either, actually, which he's not gone for this game, opting for the 12% spell amplification. Interesting. It's so funny how, no matter how late the game goes, you're always almost guaranteed to fight 4 runes. 65-minute runes, 170 gold each. That's no joke, of course, but still, I do find it to be quite funny. They're out of there, though. Dunk the courier, you coward! What else did you build this for? Alright, so still going to continue now, pushing past the 65-minute mark. That's going to be 4 bounties, though, late game here for J178. Let me do a bit of math here. 170 times 5 times 4 is going to be a cool, crisp 3,400 gold net worth swing alone in bounty runes. Without Chrono, really unique, not too willing to leave the pit. They're actually still not going to be going for the Aghanim's Blessing. I think that's a big not a big mistake. I just think it's a regular mistake. Petashara gonna get scouted out here. They do have the jump on him. There's gonna be the Hex, and the toss charge is gonna be able to nuke him down. Arrows coming through, gonna get blocked there by the neutral, so they're gonna be staggering the kills here, a la Overwatch style, which is pretty good here for Team Unique. Let's take a look at our Dota Plus win probability. Still favoring J178, 69 to 31% there. XP earned still favoring J178. That must mean that supports here are still not level 25, and that's the case. It's all going to be here onto J4. As looking back top lane here, they might be able to catch one. Faces Void could be in trouble. They've got the silence and the mute as well. He's going to be all alone here. Oh, that's a big mistake. That's finally going to be the Bloodthorn, and that's why I said that item's going to be fantastic this game. He will buy back now. Bootsing traveling in. They're going to be able to go in completely undetected now as Petashara will buy back. They're going to catch more. J4 trying to run away. Will not be able to. As we all know, he's going to get that canceled now. A second buyback here on the side of Unique jumping in. It's going to be so bad. There's going to be the damage out. However, they're more than happy to share that. Now Petashara jumping in. BKB unaffected. There's going to be the Cronus around to the back line. Trying to find the kill here into Petashara. He's got that BKB finally expiring. A stolen Ravage though is huge onto the Void. He's just bought back. They're going to get the kill onto him now. No buyback whatsoever. Palantimos now does die, but they're going to go immediately back here into the base. Certainly almost sealing this game. J178 off of the back of the stolen Ravage might be able to turn it. The defense here, not enough trees to toss out from the Tiny. They'll eat him back. He'll be back though now as Tidons are going to get gone on. You need the break, however. Petashara going to get J4 now. Not too many heroes alive, but look at all the birds respawning. They have the damage. A buyback though is still going to leave him in this game for now, but against 5 heroes, it's going to get even more and more difficult here, as surely they're going to stick around. There's the break, the mutes, the silence, the dead Tide Hunter. J178. They're going to take it. It'll take 68 minutes. But they have done it. They've taken game number 1, and what a freaking fantastic game that was. Holy cow. everyone. I always forget to do the Dota TV microphone. Let's do that. There we are. Welcome back, everyone. OMG Cup Group Stage Play Day number 3, match number 2, game number 2. J178, just trying to fit in as many numbers here as I can. That's not even actually the full name of J178, by the way. In case you're wondering, it's actually jfshfh178, but that doesn't flow too well in the middle of team fights, so I go with J178. I hope you guys don't mind too much. In any case, live here with the draft of game number 2. They've selected the same sides here as Team Unique will have. They wanted first pick overall in the draft, actually. They chose first pick in the... it wasn't a coin toss, you know, it was the second sort of... it's the opposite of a coin toss, you know, where now they lost the coin toss, so J178 chose last time, so now this time they got the choice, and they've chosen to pick first. 3 strong opening here from supports. The one thing they do lack is going to be lockdown. The degen aura is really annoying early game. The slow attack speed is quite good, don't get me wrong. But against a faceless void, they might run into some issues. I mean, look at all the lockdown they have here, in addition to the slows, without even bringing up the fact that, of course, now that's going to be a position 3 ogre. So it's going to be an off-lane ogre. He's probably going to have a sheepstick by the end of the game. And then what do you have, you know? There's a bit more lockdown. The root is going to be really good against the Faceless Void and the Potom. That plus 1 second there, I believe, is the 15 talent on Ember Spirit. Is super valuable this game. You're just rooted forever, man. That's what it feels like. Then you might be able to combo that into a Rubik Lift. You know, you get a Disco Ball on top out from the Coddle. Now we're talking about some additional lockdown, but that's always an issue you have with Void. Speaking of issues about Void, damage into Chrono. Let's take a look, right? Mirana checks that box. Doesn't add a lot of damage into Chrono early. However, we've seen teams kind of just use it for an easy 5-second arrow setup, allowing, essentially doubling the duration, right, of an early Chronosphere. So by then, usually, Void can get in another time lock or 2 and actually get that kill. Lich as well, great damage into Chrono throughout all stages of the game, to be quite honest, both with the Frost Armor, as well as, of course, the Chain Frost and the Ice Blast are all very strong. Throughout most stages of the game, it can help you burn off the magic shield there of the Ember Spirit quite quickly, or the Flame Guard, anyway. Same difference, it's a magic shield. Alright, so now we need likely a mid laner here for J178. Who do you ban here? Classic bans against an Ember are usually going to be something like the Lesh. A Kunkka is still in the pool. Somehow Tiny, once again, is able to still be in the pool. Team Unique have the advantage that they do have the pick right out here after the ban. So they can go... Oh, the Kunkka's been banned. I apologize. But Tiny's still in the pool, surprisingly. That's pretty good against the Ember Spirit, quite honestly. Is able to nuke him down pretty quickly with or without the Flame Guard, too. What time is it? My goodness, it's already 11 here? Holy cow. Last ban will be the Dazzle, interestingly enough, out of Team Unique. So maybe that's an interesting final ban there, to be quite honest. Well, if you ban Dazzle, I mean, that's just interesting. I don't know. I don't know why they banned the Dazzle, to be quite honest. I mean, you could pick a Dazzle, but... So the issue with Dazzle mid is that it kind of sets yourself on a timer, because early on it's very strong. Don't get me wrong, especially once you get, you know, I mean, it's a little bit less strong because of the changes to Medallion, but still, it's very good, right? You still have all that minus armor from the bad Juju. Oh, they go for an AM, so maybe that's why. They don't want a hero that can provide too much early momentum, but Tiny still has that, and he's still in the pool. You know, he does a bunch of damage. The bad Juju works really well with things like the Necro Book, where you can push really fast and end a game early on. That's going to be an issue, though, now, with the Meepo getting picked up. They got a lot of good AoE damage here, but the Palantimos Meepo, we've seen what he's done on the Zookeeper Lycan last game, so he can definitely micro quite nicely. I'm really looking forward to seeing some Meepo play. Not too often you get to see a Meepo picked up. I'm pretty happy here that we're going to get the chance. So it's going to be a Meepo, likely against the Omni as well as, oh geez, that's kind of the problem, right? Both these supports are pretty okay in lane stage, but they don't actually lend a lot of early, like especially the Rubik doesn't do a whole lot. Good damage there. Same thing with Coddle, good damage. The Blinding Light is super annoying as well. It's going to be pretty effective against Meepo, to be quite honest, because of that large AoE providing the 70% blind. And of course, Meepo can't purge or can't debuff all of his clones too easily. But Meepo just completely dominates AM throughout the entire game, essentially. It is just not a good matchup there. That's something you really need to be careful for. I don't think it's a free Meepo game because they still have plenty of AoE damage, but it's not far from an ideal one either. They don't have a whole lot of fantastic lockdown for you. You know, see, with a good E-Blade here, you might be able to do some sick strats and save your Meepo being targeted. It's potentially a little bit scary, right? Because the lockdown against Meepo, not to be understated, or just good AoE damage, of which you unfortunately don't have it. Well, you know, you got plenty of AoE damage, right? So there's still potential, don't get me wrong, but it's really scary here for sure, not to be understated there. We shall see. Big Num and Petashara here. Petashara, sorry.
Like the dogs you are.
In the off lane here. That's Happy DR. We're gonna go throw down a ward mid lane. No ward yet in mid. Oh, there it is. Interesting one. Scouts the rune, likely to be dewarded. Scouts out any aggressive rotations up from top lane where they're expecting the bottom to be, so that's going to be the explanation from that. She can still gank potentially here because it doesn't provide actually any vision in this area. So the camera's fighting me a bit, sorry. So during nighttime, the vision of the tower is actually going to be just shy here. So Potom can very easily sneak in if she decides to gank through the jungle, however. We'll see. That's going to be an interesting 5-minute rotation point there for the Potom. They got pretty decent setup as well. And an Earthbind to stop the Sleight of Fist from coming out into an arrow is almost certainly going to seal the fate there of our poor Ember. By then, you're going to have at least 2 levels there into the United We Stand, as it's going to be level 5 by then. Not Meepo, going to be level 5. He's going to be level 4-ish by... No, he's actually going to be close to level 6. No, he's going to be a solid level 5 for sure. Final answer, Alex. J4 in a bit of trouble up top lane. AM as well, getting pretty aggressive here against Happy DR early on. He's gone for the Frost Blast early, as there's a second stun and a third one onto top lane. Arrow into Fire Blast is really great setup here early on. And Lich more or less happy to trade blows here this early on against the AM. They might have another kill here. Be careful. The blink away from Sonny, as he's going to be forced to use up quite a bit of his regen early on. Well, let's take a look. Ransack here, level first. It's going to be pure damage though, so the Flame Guard won't help against him. Of course, when the poofs start coming, and they won't stop coming, it's going to be a bit easier for him to withstand a few of them, but that poof level is kind of insane. Doesn't quite increase exponentially. In fact, it's quite literally linearly, but or rather because you get more Meepos, right? But 130 damage each is a bit scary once you get a few more Meepos in. But you can absorb a poof or 2 and not be super scared of it. The problem then becomes getting ransacked after. As it's going to be a tough lane here for top. Like I said, Ember or AM going to be a little bit vulnerable to such an early game laner here, like on the Ogre as well as the Potom. They both kind of excel here in early game engagements. They have really great kill setup just between the two of them. They're incredibly tanky and annoying. A little bit mana reliant here on the Ogre, so he's trying to use as much of his mana early. It's not like he's going to have any once the level in the mana break here is leveled. They're going to go now creep blocking as creep blocking a potential arrow coming through, so they will have it now, but Sonny turning around, nearly has level 2 here. We'll get it with a deny. Not going to get it quite yet, so potentially could be a kill here. Actually doesn't have the mana break yet, but the arrow here instead onto the Coddle is jumping forward. That leap attack speed has been nerfed, and that one evade is enough from the Blinding Light. Blinding Light so strong now, as finally I believe that's going to be the mana break leveled. But a nice kill attempt there, and finally, already, the second Meepo. Gonna go for the Ransack, so 2 levels on the Ransack. I actually have no idea what a mid-Meepo build is. It's almost always a mid-Meepo, I'm well aware, but I just... Well, you know what, we can... So normally you go for, apparently... Well, missing a kill down bottom. Apparently, according to the Dota buff, the popular build is going to be at level 6. You go, well, it's kind of weird, right? Because it's Meepo, so you get your second level, level 10. But normally it's so 3 levels in the Poof, 1 level in the Earthbind, and the level in United We Stand. And then finally a level in Ransack at level 6. It's not the case as with the Syrian Chains. And likely here, second level in the Flame Guard here. Naive is not too uneager to get a kill there. Sorry, just looking around the map. Excuse me, did they change their mid laner, by the way? Or am I just completely oblivious right now?
A gift from the night.
Nope, I meant to check the series here. Apologies here, just wanting to check one quick thing here. Interesting. Oh, for sure. I don't remember unique in the last game. Huh? Alright, I must have been mistaken. I apologize. I don't know what's going on with me today. Top lane though, Petachar getting very aggressive here against the AM. Second level there in the mana break. Gonna be pretty nice here against the Ogre. That mana burn always coming in handy, but there's level 2 now. Still now a level in the Earthbind. The root's going to be fantastic against Ember, quite obviously. But he's going to have a regen here to refill his bottle. Bot lane, the toss here on tap DR. He's going to have that Frost Armor applied so bad, trying to do as much damage as he can here. Fade Bolt's already used as Lich, continuing to walk away so bad. We get the last hit there, but we'll eat a bash here from Pikachu. As he's going to be the mid laner, or the safe laner this time. Maybe he plays a bit of a better Visage. Yeah, I'm not used to seeing Palantimos mid. Maybe that's what's throwing me off. Maybe the team name wasn't... I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me. Yeah, I think it's still Q though, isn't it? Yeah, whatever. Top lane, arrow here onto the Coddle. Gonna be a pretty easy setup every single time, thanks to the Fire Blast. Now, you might not have enough mana for it. That's where the Soul Ring comes in handy, as 5-minute runes spawn. It's gonna be 2 for Unique here, and 3 for Unique, I apologize, and 1 for J178, but they might have a kill here onto Sani, as in comes the Ogre. He's got the Soul Ring and the Fire Blast available. Oh, just trying to bait out that magic shield there. Now they're going to go for it. Short distance arrow. Can they land it here? Going to be important to try and get this kill. Not going to be too aggressive, actually. Holding on to that sacred arrow here. Counter spell. Mid lane, though. Illuminates. Going to be dodged out pretty easily here by the Meepo on Palantimos. Level 6 now. He's gone for a 1-1-3-1 build. Wonder what's going to be the build here. I mean, at this point, he's just going to go for more levels on the Ransack. Wants nothing to do with the Ember, with the Ember's Flame Guard. So it's going to be a bit stronger against him early, as 3 levels in the Purification, 2 in the Degen Aura make it very hard for Lich to try and run away. Won't be able to. Last hero easily getting that kill there. Top lane, another bit of an engagement here, as Petashara getting very aggressive here, keeping the harass onto Kasani. Bottom, looking for an arrow here, not going to be able to find it. Now Naive might be able to get a kill, as leaving down a Remnant there, getting level 6. Yeah, it's going to be pretty useful for him. Pikachu constantly getting ran down. This is a pretty strong offlane, actually. Now that you have more levels in the Purification, not a whole lot of regeneration yet. I mean, comes with the 25 talent, of course, so not going to have that anytime soon, really, here on the Lich. Down bottom, they're going aggressive again here, but Palantimos being zoned out quite effectively by the level 2-3 Flame Guard to make it. Let's look at these Meepo talents. Probably what? Strength? I feel like he's still got to take the poof damage. I mean, it's less good against this game where they have a lot of magic resistance against you. Obviously, 45 additional magic resist here on the anti-mage, of course, as per his name, is Happy Diorara, once again dying down bot lane, going quite well for the last hero down here. Plenty of burst damage is enough, they just don't have the sustain quite simply. Hero's not tanky enough. Pure damage does not give a darn about the ice armor either. Rotating back down, and once again, though, 2 levels on the Frost Shield. It's Frost Shield, not Ice Armor. That's the thing that the Ogre gets. No bashes yet. Nearly level 6 here on the Void, but the Fade Bolt, again, coming through, cutting nearly 75% here of the damage. A little bit more, actually, off of Pikachu. Able to time walk off a bit more here. Chronosphere will be committed now. Tower actually helping out quite a bit. How about that for early damage into Chrono? No purification available, so they'll lose the tower there to the Siege Creep, but they'll pick up a kill onto last hero. It's worth it in the short run, but obviously not going to be too fantastic for them later on as they try and farm in their jungle. Now it's going to be a little bit less safe to do so. So Max here, maxing the Ransack will be the Meepo then into the poofs. Two Morbid Masks here. Morbid Masks, sorry. I don't remember the names. Wraith Bands. That was silly of me. We're in like such a Wraith Band meta. I can't believe I didn't remember it. Now Naive gonna get scouted here. 1 Earthbind. You do have a rotation for Big Dumb as well. Tossing out the Remnant. Not gonna get the chance to jump to it, or will he? The toss stunning up plenty of heroes, but the Meepo's always gonna be able to take him down there. Not always, but in that scenario, 100% he's going to be able to take him down. Mana Void now leveled here on the AM, completely out of mana as Petishara. Damned if you Soul Ring for more mana, damned if you don't, perhaps. Is now maybe in some trouble. There's the Illuminate coming through. Still alive, though, as he's still holding on to that counterspell, too. Sani able to easily get that kill, thanks to the quote-unquote gank from J4, who has returned from mid. Lots of stats here, lots of Wraith Bands on Meepo, of course. Already having plus 28 as in comes Naive. There's going to be 1 Earthbind. Ooh, nice lift, however, to cancel the second one, but it'll still come through, dodging it with a Sleight of Fist. As Meepo Prime able to do a bit more damage now. I think that's going to be a level 3 Fade Bolt, isn't it? 3 heroes committed mid, though, not finding a kill. But last hero, it's fine. They don't need the support in this bottom lane. In fact, you might want to stay alone for a bit longer, get a few more levels, max the degen aura. Probably at level 10, finally pick up the GA. He's not really wanting to fight too early. He's actually doing a great job of pushing this tower this early on as well. So we now get the 10-minute runes to spawn. Might be able to just handle the Palantimos Meepo here, regardless of not of how farmed this AM is, which he's doing okay. He's still about another 600 gold above the Ogre Magi here, able to not dodge out the counterspell there. As Pikachu with a +2 here, trying to get him. That's a huge chrono onto 3. You're going to be able to easily dodge out these 2 remnants here, not dealing their damage, but there's going to be the lift into 2. No Chain Frost available quite yet, but the cold stare to bring back Ember Spirit as Potom now going to making a break here for the runes. There's a great turn here out from jfshfh178, able to control down Team Unique there. Fantastic chrono. I think Naive accidentally walking into that one, perhaps getting ready to combo, but very unfortunate there. Yeah, plenty of damage into Void. Once you can get a few more auto attacks, and a nice arrow to follow through as well, although it's a little bit harder to miss those when the hero is completely still for 3 seconds. Drums of Endurance nearly completed on the Omni Knight, though. They get a kill onto him, which is going to be very nice. Gives a bit of space as well for Meepo to continue farming. Palantimos, of course, opting here for the side camp. Good micro, though, as already we've got the level 3 divided. We stand at level 11. This hero farms, or gets XP at a crazy rate. It's not quite as much as you might anticipate. Not every single Meepo clone gets 100%. I think Meepo Prime does, and everyone else, like, splits it a little bit if there's a second hero there. It's kind of weird, right? But that's essentially, it's enough to make a difference that you don't want a dual lane with a Meepo, because then it turns into a tri lane, and then it turns into a quad lane, and then you're like, what's going on? Why are there so many? Why am I level 2 15 minutes into the game on a support?
A gift from the night.
Nearly all of Meepo's spells are going to be kind of useless to steal. I mean, all 2 of them that you can steal anyway. because poof, don't even get me started on Earthbind. It has its potential uses here, especially against a Faceless Void. I could really see it coming in handy, right? But the strength of all of Meepo's spells, obviously, is that, you know, you cast them 3 or 4 or 5 times, but when you don't have that setup, I mean, why even bother here? Speaking of setup, there's going to be the Holy Persuasion, or the Holy Aura there, to keep him a bit longer. The top lane, Petashara trying to TP out. There's going to be the Will-O-Wisp to try and stop him, but the will not is strong enough. The flesh is willing, but the light is weak. Valentino's continuing to farm, having the Blink Dagger already, so we'll see his farm continue to accelerate a bit more. How is the AM progress here on Battle Fury, which will make it a little bit easier to fight against the Meepo, kind of. I mean, it's still right, not a matchup you'd be wanting to go for. One of the best counters against AM, quite honestly, is gonna be the Meepo. Just the roots, the damage. AM just doesn't deal well with crowds. He just doesn't like that. You know, only OD having a better win rate against him, but AM suffering. I mean, this match data is skewed because it's going to be pubs here on Dota buff, but still, maybe I should use a different site for this. Probably some Dat Dota. But for now, it's a pretty decent start early on for Team Unique, keeping it just about even. Only a 1k net worth difference, 7-6 the kill spread here in favor of 178. As now we might have a bit of a team fight. Pikachu still holding onto the Chronosphere, is Naive jumping forward, ready to go. They've stolen Bloodlust, which is a pretty nice spell to steal. It's down lane, top lane rather. They're going to try and catch the Palantimos Meepo here. Turning though, you do have the Chain Frost getting tossed, rooted down. Ember, where you going, son? Absolutely nowhere. As Palantimos easily able to combo there with the Earthbinds. Nicely done. Level 12 now. Yeah, that only gets better and better. The duration stays the same at all levels. It's just the cast range gets a bit longer, right? And the cooldown, of course. Which means you can stack them very nicely with Ags. And even more when you have the Earthbind cooldown. It's kind of mana intensive though, 100 mana here at every single level, which is why you don't see it picked up too early on. But likely to die here now is J4 action up. They want the Rubik, poofing them in. Here come the Meepos. Pikachu here to just secure the kill. Nice stuns there, but as always, you don't always stun the Meepos. Instead, they'll leave Bignum and Happy DDR there to get the kill. Committing the Chronosphere now for the Rubik. A kill's a kill, right? Nah, son, because he's got that Time Walk still stolen. They're not going to quite actually have the damage for him, so Chrono completely blown. Nice job there by So Bad. Just a bit too overzealous there. Didn't find the bashes he needed, and the Chrono was placed such that the team couldn't really help him do more damage, right? Yes, Meepo stalking, trying to find the AM. Like a horror movie, honestly. Continues to farm here. Where's our Meepo Prime? Blink Dagger going to be going straight into the E-Blade. Sometimes you see E-Blade into just, alright, time to start stacking Eye of Scotty's, because, of course, that's XP, or the stat share is the new hot thing to do, because it's, well, strong. They might catch a Meepo here, though. He's going to try and go for the poof out. We'll be able to use, actually poof the Meepo in. It's going to get Meeps down here quite quickly. There's going to be the Frost Armor to keep him alive a bit longer, but a second Q or W from the Ember will kill him quite easily. Sleight of Fist there. Oh, well, that's a big death on the Meepo. First kill for him. As Ogre now has continued farming. He's got the Hand of Midas though, so that'll continue to accelerate. AM actually, he's still pushing out the other lanes, but he's doing a good job there to actually get kills. As Bignum now trying to leap away will be unable to. Naive predicting the movement there and remnanting him to death. So no Potom, no Meepo here for another 20 seconds. Should be a pretty easy tier 2, or tier 1, sorry, gotten. Frost Armor going to make it a bit more difficult, but not by much. It's still a tier 1 tower. As they might catch themselves with Ogre as well. They've stolen the Frost Blast here, immediately tossed out here. There's the Chain Frost, and there's a Meepo alive, but not nearby. So Chain Frost just used to stop the push here as Pikachu continuing to push up top lane. TPing through is now Sani, who's done the same down bottom, but no longer wants to be laning against this Meepo. Is that a Maelstrom I saw? It is on Pikachu, though. So, tier 1 down as the AM now overtaking the Ogre as well as the Void for net worth. Going to be closing in now on that Battle Fury, at which point he farms a whole lot of heck quicker. There he goes, wasting no time. He's gonna be having the courier nearby to the secret shop anyway, so he's gonna be best to just not go and get it, considering there's many heroes there and an observer ward he's just farming out of sight on. There's the Battle Fury likely completed. Courier now on the way to the secret shop. They know someone's been farming here. Someone didn't finish farming. Who didn't finish farming their plates? There's cores in my pub games that need that farm, and you're gonna leave a creep there. Very rude. Now they're gonna set up for a killing round of 2. Will-O-Wisp is there before the Time Walk can get out. The Lift, the CC, the Purification, the Dead Void, and now the Dead Ogre. As they'll look to get more, they're gonna be escaping here under the cover of Moonlight Shadow at the very least. And there's the Poofs out. Good fight there. Will-O-Wisp, man, it really wrecks some heroes. I think I'm massively underestimating the amount of pretty much additional lockdown that gives you. Huge arrow though onto the Ember, as he won't even get the rune to spawn, but it's just going to be like a slap in the face there to him. Slap against his honor. Nah, but like, I think I'm massively underestimating the amount of lockdown here provided by the Will-O-Wisp, because they don't even have all that much, right? They've got really, I mean, a root, well, we can calculate it, right? 20% debuff duration. Oh, hold on, give me a second. Well, of course, you steal lockdown, and then that's always going to be nice, right? So 2 seconds increased by what? 20% there is going to be 2.4 seconds. No, 2.8 seconds. 2.4 seconds. Final answer. Palantimos might be dead here. There's dramas of endurance as the team will continue closing the gap. It's TP through. You do have a shrine here. Fighting underneath the shrine might not be a good idea, as the Meepo clones have arrived. They're all going to be blinded by the lights here. The Chronosphere now going to get dropped. Palantimos barely able to survive. So bad does not have the ability to close the gap on him. But now the Chain Frost here onto a few heroes. They're going to try and get the Omni Knight. No GA, no mana for it. Doesn't now have the mana, but no heroes alive to use it on, as Palantimos turning, finding the triple kill. One for each Meepo. As, well, divided they fall there in that fight for Team Unique. Good Chronosphere able to turn that. Nicely done. They'll try and turn this into a Roshan play here as well. Need to be careful. They're going to buy back now on the Ember. He's got a Remnant near here? No, he doesn't. Unfortunately, that's going to be one of the major strengths on an Ember. You almost always want to buy back if you've got a Remnant down, so you go in immediately, start fighting again, but it's a bit harder once the Remnant cooldowns are a bit longer. So we'll deny the Roche play, at least for now. Yeah, anyway, it seems like they have enough lockdown, just barely though for now, and that's without any BKBs, for example, on the Void. Of course, BKB is a problem in pretty much any sort of draft, unless you go like RP, Black Hole, what else, Chrono, you know, it's like, well then that's different, right? But in this game, it might be enough here, as nearly having that level 15 talent is going to be Ember. Has not even maxed the Searing Chains yet to get that point, that for the second duration route. It's going to be a dead Lich here, as they'll Frost Blast. And looking to push mid now too, but they're going to be pushing side lanes in return. We still haven't seen AM, was not in that fight, now has the, of course, completed Battle Fury as he did earlier, and now the Yasha for Manta. Going to be pretty good there against the roots, but only against one of the roots is the issue from Palantimos. Might have caught themselves here an Omni Knight. Nice arrow. Actually going to be eaten by Naive. Now poofing in is going to be the Palantimos. He's got 4 Meepos now, but there's going to be the Will-O-Wisp, the Ignis, and the Blind on top. Had plenty of lockdown. The follow-up from the team is not quite enough. There's no Chronosphere. There's no Void even for them to try and fight that. And now no buyback on your Meepo. Does have the full E-Blade though. Uh-oh. This game just got a bit scary. AM continuing to farm. At some point, the AM will just be a little bit too strong, as Palantino is trying to slow him down. Actually, that's Pikachu, I'm sorry. Trying to slow him down as much as he can. Bloodlusted will be able to close the gap here against the last hero. Nice arrow, not going to last too long, but the Chronosphere onto 2. They've caught the cat here on accident. Stolen Chrono, though. Going to dodge out a lot of the support, but will likely seal the fate here onto your Omni Knight. So, sure, you end up losing the Omni and the Ember, but maybe you... it's a good one. I mean, it's tough. It's tough there as a Rubik. What are you gonna do? Yeah. I think just a slight misplay there, but it's tough. J4 now here. Might be considering stopping again. I was got a DD rune on the Meepo Prime though, at least. They have maxed Illuminate this game. Sometimes you see Blinding Light max first because of that increased duration. Still might be the better option this game, but being able to pump out this much damage here against AoE damage against the Meepo cannot be understated, that value. This time with no buyback on the Ember to stop them, they're going to go and maybe even get a little bit more as the stuns here onto the Omni Knight. He still has him that GA, but that cold stare holding him down for just a little while longer, and still not quite enough to find a kill. A few more bashes are there. My goodness, they've nearly blown up this Rubik nearly immediately. Now AM is here, and he is fighting, still holding on to the Mana Void. Going to be leaping back here in defense. Palantimos trying to find a target here, as now Naive has respawned, will be getting the first life there. Remember, it will respawn, however, onto the Meepo Prime, which is going to be over here. They don't really have intel of that information. Buying back now on 2, J4 and Naive. I don't know if I like that move. I don't think J178 were any interested in continuing to fight there. You don't really know where the Meepo Prime was. He could have possibly blinked away and already been in the fountain, perchance. And the slowdown there on your 2 supports means the support items come a bit slower, right? So it's a position 4 Rubik, so a 4 staff could be huge this game. You know, breaking up the chain of Earthbinds, saving your Ember, saving your AM, right? Speaking of which, I did like the fact that he fights there, gets a little bit of gold and experience, not too much, right? But it's good anyway. But the buyback, though, especially when you were doing pretty well against the Meepo, to be quite honest. His tempo, his speed, he wasn't really playing at the speed he wanted to. Sure, you take off his Aegis, but that's what the Aegis is for, right? Well, kind of. Anyway, BKB now on the Faceless Void. He's still got that Chronosphere, holding on to it. Did not expend it in that last fight. Might not have even been in that last fight. And there's a little smoke up here as 4, maybe trying to catch a nice Chrono here. They might be able to. They don't really have any vision on the enemy side of the map is going to be the problem. They're not going to scout anyone there either, as doing the nice little mid standoff will be Team Unique here. Palantimos will show one Meepo. It's actually the Meepo Prime here. He's made pretty decent progress there, just showing off the fact that he's got E-Blade completed. Take that, melee creeps. Interestingly enough, actually, something with the creep aggro, if you disarm a creep, they just stand there. So it can be pretty good if you're playing like an Oracle and you don't want them to pull the creep away from the tower so you can keep doing damage. Just go ahead and Fate's Edict the creep, and he will stand there forever. You can, like, if you get the cooldown, like, you can trap creep in your base if you want. Not quite to the effect of where, you know, there used to be stairs here and the Chen army would build the wall here and release the flood, you know, not quite to that level. But here's the Will-O-Wisp here. They've only caught Palantimos once, though. Invis going to call in the reinforcements. A huge arrow onto AM. They're going to start the damage with their Chronosphere right on top as well, but the Illuminate doing great work. You can't poof out the Meepos here. The Chain Frost on top. The cold gaze. There's going to be the GA finally dropped, keeping him barely alive. Nice control here onto the Ember Spirit. Not be able to do that too much damage, but now with that Illuminate and another Sleight of Fist, they're going to find that kill. Last hero will die finally, as it looks like AM will barely be able to escape. They'll get the life here off the Meepo, but they keep getting kills, however, onto Pikachu. Going to be going straight out of the Maelstrom here into the Mjolnir, and he is farming quite nicely, I must say. Nearly as much as the Meepo, not quite as much as Sani, for example, but it's a good amount of farm on this guy. All right. Well, it's still going to get a bit harder here. I mean, they've been doing a great job. That's kind of the problem here with the Meepo Void. 1, Meepo can't provide any damage inside of the Chronosphere, and 2, Meepo really is able to strive on the fact that he can kind of poof in and out to save his Meepos, right? But once you give that lockdown, once you get that permanent lockdown on him, it becomes really difficult to do so, especially if you get the Meepo Prime caught in there, because then you can't use any of his items either. You can poof into the Chrono, I guess. That's probably got, like, you know, a very edge case use, maybe. As here we go. Still a little bit far off here on the first eye of Scotty. I say first because, I mean, what else do you really build on Meepo, to be honest? E-Blade, Blink, Power Tread, sometimes Boots of Travel instead, and that's about it, right? Dragon Lances, if you've lost the lane, just stack up those Dragon Lances for the stats. And that's, you know, sure. we'll go from there. But I have Scotty generally going to be the move there for Meepos, for sure. Just take a look at some more items. Basher now on the AM. So he's going to go for the Basher and then immediately into the Butterfly. How does Ransack work here? Passive, pure. I don't believe it can miss, but I've probably only procs if you actually land the auto attack, I'd imagine, right? Well, now that we have a pause, we can take a look at this, because if you're going to need some sort of evasion or true strike, just as the last game here on Pikachu. This time on Palantimos, though, it's actually reminiscent of last game as well, where they didn't build any true strike for the enemy void. So we'll see if they have that same issue this time. Meepo. Take a look here. I'm fairly certain that you can. It's only unsuccessful auto attacks. Pure damage. Oh, the damage is applied before the attack. Okay, okay. I don't know. It doesn't say. I'd imagine. I mean, obviously you can break that, but the damage is applied before the attack damage. I mean, I'd assume the attack has to actually land for Ransack to do damage. That makes me wonder, though, if you get the backtrack talent here at 25, which again we learned. Oh well, it's never mind. It's a ally void this time, not an enemy void. All right. I am going to continue farming, though, for now, as he's got the Basher, like we said, full Manta. That's interesting. So he's going to go Butterfly, finish off the Abyssal, and Maelstrom. Seems to be the build. Or MKB, actually, that's going to be. Yeah, MKB for evasion that they expect the Meepo to get. It's got that evasion talent here. It did take it here, so 20% evasion here at level 15, as we have a disconnect maybe. Bit of an issue here on the side of Team Unique. Long series, this one already. As still paused here. We've now caught up to the delay. Might throw it back to the break screen here shortly. BKB up on the void, though, 9 seconds now, pardon me. He's going to be going straight into that MKB, so he's not messing around. This team willing to take it late. The late game here from 178, definitely much stronger against Team Unique. Mid game here, it's about 50-50, right? You're seeing a bit of the engagements go either way, depending on the availability and placement of the Chronosphere, depending on if the AM's nearby farming and can help out in the fights. A lot of these things, right? We shall see, though. How's Ember doing? Yule Scepter up is going to make him a little bit more survivable in these fights to make sure he can't get just perma-rooted to death here. Let me go ahead and open the door real quick.
A gift from the night.
Need to make sure the cats are all okay here. I heard a noise in the other room. All right, still pause though. I was kind of half expecting we'd be back to the action by now. All right. Let's think here. 4 staff here on the Coddle, like I said, is going to be really good. I think we have one here on Rubik as well. So 2 4 staffs here, going to be pretty good. Just kite out the Meepo as far as you can is going to be the late game strategy. Because then at least you stand a chance of picking him off once he has, once he has a few of those Eye of Scotties. Again, sharing the stats there on the Meepo is going to be the best play there. There's closing in now on a 5-minute pause nearly. There we go. Let's get back into it, boys. J4 finally letting that Illuminate go, just holding on to it for 5 minutes. Surprised it didn't destroy the entire map at that point. My goodness, what a channel time that was. Seriously. Holy cow, man. But Maelstrom now on the Ember Spirits. These AoE damage items are going to be really great against this team. As Palantimos. That's a big arrow onto the Anti-Mage with the Heavenly Grace. Not too much affected by it, to be quite honest. 50% static resistance here at every level. Not to mention that HP regen. Is going to be working. Oh, come on, boys. Let's play some Dota. I'm going to go now here onto bottom. Unique in some trouble, perhaps. If they actually get caught here by the Smoke Gank into the Moonlight Shadow. They've got good visions here. Sorry, they've got good vision here. They've got a Sentry Ward placed down. I don't believe, yeah, the vision so far from J178 is all going to be here. More focused mid lane here towards the river for the runes. Kind of earlier wards you see. I say that though, but they do have vision here as well, as they see the Unique so bad as well with this deep ward actually. I don't know if that blocks the camp. No, not quite. The line should come up to like there. Yeah. So smoked up we go, and now Palantimos on the Meepo Prime heading in. Has enough money for a second ultimate orb if he wants to go for it. So, AM pushing the tower here. The downtime on Heavenly Grace is not too long. Could get caught out here potentially. We do have no chrono available though for another 10 seconds. Moonlight Shadow was used for this, so they just kind of give up the tier 2 unfortunately, as that arrow doesn't hit anyone, I believe. Can get that D ward though quite easily. Quelling Blade, very quality item on that hero. They've caught the AM though, could be dangerous as in come the proofs. There's the roots, that's what we're talking about, boys. Sani now able to finally at least get the blink out, but they've used a lot of the regen onto him. There's going to be the Will-O-Wisp trying to maybe re-engage in this fight, immediately killed off as they've caught Omni Knight as well, stunning him up with an arrow. Nicely done by J178, and that is why the Meepo is so good against this hero. Didn't quite, I think he stacked maybe the Earthbinds there a little bit. But still good nonetheless here, is now Rubik actually running for his life. Bloodlusted as well on the Meepo. Bloodlusted Meepos is scary. Because of course they can all get bloodlusted, and whew, my goodness, that attack speed increase has got to be something insane. As AM going to be cutting the wave here. Doing a little bit of a tinker strat there. Just being annoying. But nearly finding a kill onto the AM there is pretty big. Big show of strength out from Palantimos. So far, just back to farming though. Both teams are going to be kind of happy to farm though, to be quite honest. No one, I mean, they'll fight now, don't get me wrong, especially with Chrono off cooldown. We might see one here, indeed. Chrono onto 2. They're going to try and go onto the Rubik first. Pet setting up now for the AM. The stuns are perfect. The Chain Frost as well. BKB used for Pikachu, and a 4 times multicast on the Midas Creep Wave there for Petashara to all cap it up. No buyback either. And my goodness, what a jump out there from J178. Now certainly they're going to go for the push here, as Palantimos almost certainly going to be coming back in. Pushing down bottom actually. Still, that should be, oh, actually, he's gone for the Scythe of Vice first here. So he might make the jump here straight onto the Battle to go. They caught him with an arrow, the Earthbind there to follow up if necessary. Now 3 dead, still no AM for 45 seconds. This is a Meepo, baby. Your base is going to be very dead here. Going to be at least a lane of Rax, very likely 2. However, Crimson Guard is fantastic for this game. Reducing a lot of that damage, but doesn't last for too long, but you can see already the difference that made. Fadewall doing good work here. They're likely to catch the Rubik, though. This game might just be over from here, quite honestly. You got AM back in 20 seconds. There's no chrono. GA is still up, but you got to save that for, yeah, they just call it. GG is called. It's going to be J178 after a very long and impressive game number 1. Able to seal this one here with the Meepo pick. Very nicely done. Yeah, I think I never like to say a game is lost at the draft, because I honestly don't think that's, in very rare cases, that's very ever true. There's almost always going to be a win condition, and I think Unique were doing a pretty fantastic job. The problem is, with the AM, it's one of the very few heroes that just, like, no matter what you get on him, it feels like if you try and fight early with him, it just is incredibly underwhelming, right? So they were kind of forced to at least try and draw it out a little bit. We're doing a great job at it, but still, Pikachu is comes online and they're able to use that power spike there to carry them to the end, j178 will take it. But it's a very tough game, right? Because you kind of need to undercut the power spikes here of j178, but it's so difficult against the Meepo, so hard against the Faceless Void as well, because they both kind of create space for each other, and you trying to create space for the AM just is so hard to do. It's still, nonetheless, though, Sani does a great job, ends the game 1-1-1, but still, only one death is enough here to really end this game. Almost 18k net worth to his name, but what can you do, man? What can you do? Tough game, and a tough 2-0 there. But j178 will take 2 very well-deserved games out of them. Our next series, guys, will be starting here in just about 20 minutes, so do stick around for that. We've got our final series. It's going to be Unique up against Viking GG, but with that 2-0 victory here, j178 guaranteed themselves first place here in Group A, having a flawless record. They don't drop a single game, which we can't say for anyone yet. But it's going to be Viking GG versus Unique to round out the group stage here. So this is going to decide who moves on, because both of these teams, let me think, Unique will be, yeah, this is going to be a decider match. So this is very important coming up versus Unique and Viking GG. So stick around, guys, for that. I've been Seek and Strike here on the call for the OMG.bet Cup. Shoutouts to them for sponsoring this tournament. Make sure you guys check out their site, OMG.bet, and thank them for the support. But thank you guys for tuning in, and hope to see you soon for game number 3 here of the day.